It's game time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week. Number 1 Omaha Burke and number 8 Omaha Westside. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. The third member of our crew, and let's bring her in, is Megan Scolio, who's got tonight's keys to the game. Megan?
Hey, thanks, Gary. Let's start with Omaha Burke. Key number 1 for them is power run game. Westside's front 7 aren't very big, averaging 227 pounds up front. Running between the tackles should be an advantage for Burke's O-line, especially to the right behind Andrew Reiner, who's 6'5", 260. Second key for them is pass rush. Burke's D should be fine against Westside's rushing attack, but it must get home on the pass rush. Burke needs to make Westside QB Dylan Plotz uncomfortable and force mistakes or even get a sack. As for Westside, key number 1 is to have a creative offense. They need to find ways to slow Burke's defense down. Running at them is going to be difficult, so they'll need to use deception and creativity to get the ball to playmakers in space. Key number 2, stop the run. Burke has a 3-to-1 run-pass ratio and averages more than 8 yards per carry. Westside needs to stop it, perhaps by walking a safety down in the box or some run blitzes, Gary.
Megan, thank you very much. Should be a good one tonight. Burke and Westside. It's game time on YurView. Kickoff of the Iowa Western game of the week is next.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
You're watching this week's Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week. An absolutely gorgeous fall evening in Omaha, Nebraska. He's going to look at the Westside Warrior student section. Chance to pull an upset tonight. Omaha Burke, number 1, Westside, number 8. Game time on YurView. We welcome in all of our Omaha Game Time viewers and across the country to all of you. Welcome to a little slice of the heartland on a Thursday night for Westside and Burke. Should be a fantastic matchup. High-level recruits playing in this game. Burke won the toss and they elected to receive, and Peter Navoa from Westside gets it started with a kickoff that is taken at the 5-yard line by Xavier Watts. Cutting to the outside with room, and he is pushed out of bounds. And we're going to look at this offense that is number 2 in Class A, putting up 490 yards a game, led by Tyler Chadwick, junior signal caller, who has yet to throw an interception in 5 games this year. 14 touchdown passes. He already has accumulated 13 wins as the starting quarterback at Burke. Now in his second year, 6 foot, 170 pounds, and he has weapons galore. We expect a lot of offense in this game tonight, as we alluded to in the open. These two teams combined for over 1,000 yards of offense per game. 2 wide receivers to the near side, and now Chris Hickman, who just received a Nebraska offer for the class of 29, in motion. And the handoff is to James Burks. Burks cutting the outside, now back across the 30 before he runs into a host of Warriors for a pickup of 5 yards. This is what we've seen all night from James Burks. Here's the offense, which 4 of the 5 games this year, they've scored 47 or more. Burks, you've got Hickman, Davis, all kinds of skill talent, and a really good offensive line. Might be the best offensive line in Class A, which is the largest class in the state of Nebraska. Chadwick on 2nd and 5, puts it up, and he completes the pass short of the first down, maybe a yard. Stephen Eloy with the reception. It'll bring up third down and short for the Burke Bulldogs, and this is the defense that Chadwick will be going against tonight.
Brought down by Burnett for the Warriors. Gain of 1, 34 from the 33-yard line.
After giving up 45 points to Omaha Creighton Prep in the first game of the year, this is a defense that has really settled in. They've given up just a shade over a touchdown in the last 4 games. Third down and 4. Chadwick patiently barking out the signals in the gun. Takes the handoff. Play action now. Chased out of the pocket from behind. He's hit. Loose ball, and it's recovered by Burke. Chadwick had a lot of time, but he couldn't feel the pressure from behind. Good job downfield on the coverage and on the sack. Burke will have to punt for only the 9th time this year in week number 6 of the regular season.
Parsonage on the linebacker blitz. Gets around behind Chadwick. Causes the fumble. It's something that this Burke offense has been a little bit prone to this year. They've had at least one lost fumble in the last 4 games. Almost came up with a lost fumble there.
In just the 9th punt this year for Nebraska's #1 team, 5-0, and this is a good punt. And the fair catch by Schweigert, and he'll take it to the 45. And now we'll get a look at the #1 offense in Class A, and that would be the Westside Warriors. All 5 games this year, they've scored 41 or more. They average 512 yards per game. Led by Dylan Plotz, we highlighted it in the open. And why not? Plotz has had a fantastic senior season. The start has given him 1,191 yards and 14 touchdown passes. You will hear Jaden Coles lined up behind Plotz in the backfield. His name plenty. He's accumulated 16 touchdowns last week on Game Time. He took the opening kickoff 95 yards for a score, and on the opening pass to the near flat, Schweigert dropped the ball, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Again, this Westside offense, Schweigert, who has 26 catches this year. Then you have Coles, who is good in the backfield and in a pattern. Plotz is leading the charge, but that is a heavy offense, lots of yards, and interesting up front. Keep an eye on Cade Haberman. He is a freshman starting at left tackle. There are 2 freshmen starting tonight for Westside. Prior to this year, they'd only had 4 in the history of the program. Coles around the outside, and he is hauled down from behind. Minimal gain as that Burke defense, which John has alluded to, collapses on Coles, setting up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, just 2 points given up in the last 3 games for this Burke defense. Chris Hickman at defensive end and Nick Henrich at inside linebacker, the 2 big playmakers.
Nick Henrich, who also has a Nebraska offer, 34 tackles in 5 weeks. 13 of those have been for loss. And they will now bring pressure to Dylan Plotz. 3rd down and 7, just underway, and a quick pass to Coles, but before there is a whistle, and we will have our first flag of the night. Burke went 3 and out, was forced to punt. Our referee is Skip Kennedy, and if you are wondering why Skip tonight will have his back to the cameras, the configuration here at Phelps Field, the press box is across from our location, so it's not that Skip is ignoring the Game Time crew. That's just the setup here. Illegal motion by Westside pushes him back 5 yards. So 3rd down and 12 for Dylan Plotz as he looks over this 3-man front. And another whistle before the snap. And a timeout is taken by Burke. So on 3rd down and 12, their head coach Paul Lamangi wants to take a look at what Westside may present to them. You can look at the Westside huddle. Brett Freund is now in his 9th year. He's 54 and 34. Led the Warriors to a runner-up spot in the state championship game in 2013. The Warriors have been to the playoffs 7 straight years. Last year, 5 and 5. They were knocked out in the 1st round. But after dropping their opening game of the year in a thriller here, 45-41 to Omaha Creighton Prep. You get a look at Brett Freund right there. They lost with about 12 seconds to go. They bounced back to run off 4 straight victories. And it's a young team that has had a maneuver with not a huge offensive or defensive line. Might be one of the better jobs that Brett Freund has done in his coaching career here at Westside.
Well, you said it, Gary. They're pretty young, but their weapons are seniors and very experienced in Coles, Plotz, and Schweigert on the outside. So there is going to have to be a little bit of a reload next year when those 3 graduate.
3rd down and long after the timeout. Plotz plenty of time. Pass across the middle. And there is a flag. He wanted his big wide receiver, Cal Weideman, But Weideman had a Bulldog draped on him, and that will draw a penalty for pass interference and an automatic first down for Westside. And you see the arm strength by Plotz. He's got such great pocket presence, and then when he unleashes that right arm, he's got wide receivers galore. You see the penalty to Burke and a first down for Westside. Plotz already this year coming in 76 of 111 as he slung it downfield.
And it looks like that off arm just got a little bit of a hook. Jalen Roussel just got a little hook on the back of Weideman and get that call most of the time.
Thursday night football in Nebraska. We're going to tell you why there are a lot of Thursday night games in this state that there are normally not. Out of the backfield, swung around to Coles, breaks one tackle, and now he's pursued by multiple Bulldogs before Jaden Coles, one of the top running backs in the state, is hauled down by Javon Vincent.
Vincent stayed with the play. He initially had a shot. Coles made him miss. And Vincent comes back in and makes the tackle. One thing you're going to notice about this Burke team is they go. Now, everybody on the field in this defense has a motor, and you see it in practice.
Plotz to throw again, play action. Now chased out of the backfield. Throws it deep down the sideline, and it is caught for a first down. Making the catch and losing his helmet is Joseph Stegman.
Wow, what a catch by Stegman. But good awareness by Plotz to feel the pressure, move up in the pocket, and just give Stegman a chance. He does well.
That's a 20-yard pitch and catch. Another first down for Westside, and they have driven just outside of the red zone. Plotz, a 2-year starter. Great in the classroom, even better on the football field. Another pass to the side, and it's hauled in by Schweigert. And he tiptoes down the sidelines before he's finally knocked out of bounds by Vincent. You throw anything in the zip code, and Schweigert will catch it. And look at the hands here.
Yeah, great catch by Schweigert. The one-handed tip drill. Pulls it in himself. Able to get upfield and gain some yards. 27th catch on the season for Schweigert.
Pickup of 9. Plotz to throw it again to his favorite wide receiver. Chased out of bounds. This time, Dylan Packett. That'll be a first down. So it'll be first down and goal for Westside as the Warriors have driven from their own 45-yard line all the way down to the 8-yard line. Westside 4-1, number 8. They were not ranked in the preseason. They've won 4 in a row. Burke, first time since 1985, preseason number 1, on the slant. And the pass is tipped, and Schweigert laying on the field. It's incomplete. The pass went through the hands of the intended wide receiver. Schweigert was laying at the 1-yard line on his back and could not hold on to it. Oh, my.
But the throw from Plotz is behind Jaden Coles, and if it's out in front, he walks into the end zone and hits his head on the goalpost. And as it ends up, incomplete pass, but oh my goodness, that was a touchdown.
Great look from our game time crew. Plotz to throw again on the slant. Schweigert catches it, dive to the end zone, touchdown.
How about this route combination, Gary? Schweigert's going to start as the second man in the trip set. And he comes back underneath the tight end, or Weideman, who's lined up in the slot, as Weideman drives the defender deep into the end zone. Great route combination, good pitch and catch, touchdown Warriors.
Those two have been working on that for years. 15 touchdown pass for Plotz. Schweigert's been on 4 of the receiving ends of those, and the PAT is up from Jack Bush and good. And Westside starts out 7-0 on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Plotz to Schweigert.
Schweigert, tough run on the inside, 7-0.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus, but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
7-0 as Westside drives down the field in 8 plays. Plots to Schweigert. As the Warriors, number 8 in the state. Burke, number 1. So they hold Burke to 3 and out. Only the 9th punt in 6 games. And then an impressive drive down the field. Majority of it through the air.
Well, we've had both of the concerns addressed here on the first possessions for each team. We wondered, would this smaller Westside defense be able to hold up against Burke? They did on their first chance. And would this offense be able to score with the attacking Burke defense? Proved it on that drive.
So Burke trailing this season. How will they respond? Short kickoff taken by Vincent, trying to find some room to the outside. And it'll be knocked down at the 36-yard line. Coming over to greet him with a special teams tackle, Brett Curran of Westside. Burke 5-0 on the year. Their last 3 opponents, they have outscored them 174-43, but they are behind 7-0. This is their second possession of the night with the quarterback Tyler Chadwick. Again, 14 touchdown passes for the junior, 0 interceptions. Burke, number 1 in the state, and they are young. Just made some coaches across the metro shudder. Tatum in motion. Now the snap back to Chadwick, hands it off to Burks, running wide to the outside, and gang tackling by Westside. Brett Frank told us before the game that's going to be the key. We're not going to win a lot of one-on-one battles. We're going to need 3 or 4 different hats on the ball, and that time it's led by the veteran linebacker Alex Nielsen on the tackle. James Burks, 14 touchdowns on the ground this year. You're going to look at Paul Lamanji, the head coach for Burke High, now in his 12th season, 73-47. Finished runner-up in 2011. Burke still chasing that elusive state title in football. Play action. Chadwick throws it near side on the catch, and a big pickup into the hands of Darnell Davis. And Davis down the sidelines. It's a foot race. Cuts it back, and he will be tackled from behind by Curran.
I'm not sure how Darnell Davis got down the sideline. There's a good downfield block. Davis so close to going out of bounds right there, but a great block downfield by Xavier Watts to spring him, and he does the rest. And Curran with the touchdown-saving tackle.
That's a 59-yard pickup for the Omaha Northwest transfer, Darnell Davis. 11th catch of the year. Burks, touchdown. That is a familiar refrain this year. Burks into the end zone for the 15th time this year, and Burke wastes no time in responding to Westside's opening score.
That was quick. You think that the touchdown at the other end might have woke this Bulldog offense up a little bit.
So you want points? We've got points for you. Not even halfway through the first quarter, and both teams have put it in the end zone. Jason Gutierrez, the senior place kicker. And the southpaw kicks it through the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Burke wasted no time in marching down the field, buoyed by that 59-yard Chadwick to Davis connection, and then the 15th rushing touchdown of the year, leading the state by James Burks, John.
Yeah, this is just, it's a good play. Get him out into the flat, and then a great block, as I said, by Xavier Watts down the field. That's a tough play to stop when he's going out into the flat like that, and then you get Burks on the inside, and big hogs up front, just making it easy.
As we welcome all of you into Showdown Week here on Game Time. Tomorrow, St. Thomas Aquinas, the Fort Lauderdale Centennial of Arizona meet. In Oklahoma, Owasso and Union. You can't beat this time of the year and all the options for high school football. Game Time on YurView. James Burks, 2-time state wrestling champion. has his 15th rushing touchdown. There is a great story on who James Burks is right now at YurView.com. John had a chance to sit down with the junior and grew up in one of the rougher parts of Omaha. Had some mentors in his life, and now he has big goals. Boy, does he have big performances, whether it be on the wrestling mat in the winter or the football field in the fall. His 3-yard touchdown run has tied this game at 7. Another short kickoff. And maybe about 5 yards on the return by Joseph Stegman. And Dylan Plotz in the Westside offense that went 55 yards in 8 plays to score a touchdown. Returns. Buckle them up. Again, if you're a defensive coordinator that happens to be tuning in tonight, you're probably going to be disappointed. If you love offense and you love skill guys and you love big plays, we are the perfect place for you on a Thursday night.
Well, you saw the short kickoff, Gary. You mentioned it. It looks like Burke wants no part of Jaden Coles getting the ball deep to try and return it. You have to find a different way to get him the football.
Plotz play action rolling to the near side on the run, looking downfield, throws it to the near sideline in front of the Warrior bench, and it is caught by Dylan Packett. Plotz is so fun to watch. He got a 32 on his ACT, and he's runs this offense like he's been running it for years and years and years. Well, just a couple.
And this is a good read by Packett. He sees that Plotz doesn't have anything, so he makes the adjustment and comes back to the football, and Plotz puts it on him.
And he'll put it up again. Wanted Packett, but Packett could not corral the shoelace toss at midfield, and it'll be 2nd down and 1. Dylan Packett, junior wide receivers. You get another look at Dylan Plotz. He has been interested in Ivy League schools. He's even thought about Stanford. He is one of a kind in the classroom. Westside, one of the top academic institutions in Omaha. Coles with a handoff, and he leaps across the 45, and it's enough for the first down. When you need a first down, you put the ball in the midsection of Jaden Coles, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, who in week number 2 of this season had himself a night. 392 all-purpose yards, 6 touchdowns, and a win against Millard South. How about Millard South? They've won 3 in a row. They've got a big game this week against Grand Island. So a fresh set of downs for the Warriors. And another carry for Coles. He spun away from Hickman, but not much further. He found Bobby Murray. Bobby Murray is a 3-year starter at middle linebacker for Burke. When Bobby Murray is near you, you are not getting away. The senior linebacker makes his 26th tackle of the year.
And there you see Hickman. Big matchup tonight. Chris Hickman against Jackson McMillan, the sophomore right tackle for Westside. Keep an eye on that one all night long.
Got a freshman and a sophomore on that Westside line, and it's not a very big offensive line. Plotz changes the play, and a slant is caught at midfield, but not much else, as hauling it was Dylan Rubin. There's a lot of wide receivers. Joe Ziski, our statistician, him and the scoreboard operator are going to be very busy tonight. There's going to be a lot of personnel catching footballs and points scored. So a key 3rd down and 7 for Westside in a 7-7 game. Westside scored on their opening drive on Dylan Plotz's touchdown pass. Burke wasted no time in responding. And now at midfield, Plotz with 5 wide receivers looks over a 4-man front. Snap back, quick toss, slant off of the helmet, and incomplete, as Coles could not corral it, and Westside will be forced to punt, and that was almost an interception.
Trying to get Jaden Coles the ball any which way that they can, including lining him up in the slot here and running him on a little slant pattern. Just somebody in the way. Good job for Burke. A big defensive stand right there. Didn't need to give up consecutive touchdowns in this one, and now you get a chance to see James Burks return a punt, something that they brought him up as a freshman to do.
When you ask Paul Lamanji, the head coach of Burke, tell me about your defense. He doesn't go into a whole bunch of X's and O's. He just looks you in the eye and he says, they're nasty.
Yes, they are. They'll mix a little bit of coverage. They'll bring some heat, but for the most part, they like to stay in their base 4-3 package. Don't like to get out of that too much. Just like to play football.
The most points they've given up this year, they allowed in week number 3, 28 to Norfolk. Last 2 weeks, they've only given up 15. There's a discussion between Skip Kennedy and his crew, and now Skip Kennedy will come over to talk to Brett Freund, just to let him know there are no secrets at Phelps Field tonight. Beautiful, beautiful night. It was a gorgeous fall day here in Omaha. They are resetting the clock. Brett Freund has other concerns than calling upstairs to reset the clock. Brett, a 1988 graduate of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. They've reset the clock. They've added 10 seconds. That's a benefit for all of you that have joined us on Game Time on YurView. Cade Yoakum averages 35 yards a punt. Junior punter. Snap back to him, and the right foot meets the football high into the air. Good punt, good bounce. It will roll inside of the 5 to the 4 to the 3 to the 2. Down there. And Burke will be staring at 98 yards of field turf as Tyler Chadwick leads the Bulldog offense back onto the field. As mentioned, Burke is 5-0, John. They really have not been challenged. The prep game in week number 2. The Norfolk game, they encountered some injuries. They lost 3 players for the season, including one of the top linemen in the state in Nate Herrera. But other than that, they have done what people expected. That game, by the way, end of the regular season, October 20th against the defending Class A champion Bellevue West. It'll be right here on Game Time. Chadwick throws the near side, little pitch and catch out into space, caught by Watts, and he is quickly brought down to the turf for a pickup of 5.
A rare short reception for Xavier Watts, averaging 31.7 yards per catch on the season. That time, and Westside defense came up flying and got him on the turf.
That will make you do a double check.
Yes.
When you see a wide receiver who is only a sophomore. Yeah, the Utes are in full display here tonight. And the inside handoff on the sweep by Davis. Barajas was the first to stop Davis, and then again got some help. That's what Westside will have to do. It's a pickup of 1 on the jet sweep, and it's 3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. Darnell Davis caught a 59-yard pass on that touchdown drive earlier, and here just couldn't get outside. Good containment by Westside.
Well, it's a good job of those linebackers staying clean, just keeping away from blockers, not getting trapped down inside and flowing to the football. We've seen it on almost every play where Burke has tried to run the football. Those linebackers have been very active.
A couple of ticks under 4 minutes in a 7-7 game. Chadwick in the pistol calls timeout. He didn't like the formation that Westside had just shifted their front 7. So Chadwick takes a timeout, and he'll walk over to his sideline and talk to the offensive staff. Burke again 5-0, number 1 in the state. On this week's Over the Middle High School Football Recruiting Podcast, host Jeremy Crabtree talks with NFL great Trent Dilfer to discuss his Elite 11 quarterback camp and the NFL Network documentary on the subject. Also, Adam Gording from Rivals.com stops in to run down college recruiting and talk high school football standouts. That's Over the Middle with Jeremy Crabtree on YurView.com. We highly recommend it. A download and a listen. Jeremy Crabtree is one of the best recruiting experts in the business, and it gives you a wide variety of opinions from coast to coast on what's going on in the world of college football recruiting. We have touched on 2 Burke High juniors who have received, among others, Nebraska offers. Nick Henrich, the linebacker, and Chris Hickman, the tight end. Hickman is way at the bottom of your screen here on 3rd down and 3. And Burke will keep it on the ground, and Burks is not going to get the first down. Initially, it appeared that the spot was not very good for Burke, but Burks fell forward, and he is given the first down. So he needed 3. He got 3 and about a quarter.
It feels like every possession in this game is going to be so important, doesn't it, Gary? I mean, there's going to be so little margin for error. You've really got to take each possession very, very seriously and not waste a chance to put points on the board in this one.
Burks coming in, number 1 in the state in rushing touchdowns, now with 15. He's 8th in the state in rushing. And he carries it again, bouncing to the outside after hitting the line. And he keeps churning those strong legs from his time as a wrestler. He picked up 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Burks last year ran for 397 yards. Coming into tonight's game as we reach week number 6 in Nebraska, he has 598. This Burke offense, so many options. Again, both of these offensive coordinators, they can dial up wacky formations, and it helps when you have quarterbacks like Dylan Plotz of Westside and Tyler Chadwick of Burke. And Burks runs again right up the middle. He ran over a Warrior, and he was able to pinball this way for 5 more yards, a pickup of 16.
Great block by Tanner Kraneski. You're going to see him right there, 65, had his back to the camera, just manhandling a Westside defender. Sprung Burks for the big gain.
This is James Burks, who as a freshman won a state wrestling championship here in Nebraska. He went 49-3. He also had to wrestle his brother during that season. Chadwick, lots of time, throws deep down the field to the wide open receiver. It is intercepted. Watts was open, but the freshman for Westside, Avante Dickerson, is able to pull it away. And the first interception of the year by Chadwick.
How about that? The freshman, the first to pick off a pass by Tyler Chadwick in 2017. What a play! Off the deflection, Avante Dickerson with a big one.
Davis was open. He had a step. And Avante Dickerson, make a mental note of him, only a freshman. There aren't many freshmen that play on the varsity at Westside. That shows you how talented Avante Dickerson is. We saw him last week show up against Omaha Central in a 63-7 victory. And boy, he just made the biggest play of his young, burgeoning career at Westside. And Plotz comes right back with a slant. And it is complete for nearly 10 yards. He finds Caleb Schweiger, who he's already connected for a touchdown tonight.
Well, you see what this Westside offense is doing. They're not giving Burke a chance to put on a heavy pass rush. A lot of just get the ball out of the shotgun and fire. Not a lot of downfield passes, just moving the ball steadily down the field, trying to abate that pass rush.
Schweiger drives all kinds of attention. 3.5 GPA student. Another slant, another catch. That's the one thing. They'll run that play till the sun comes up tomorrow. But the wide receiver's got to catch it, John, and Joseph Stegman in traffic makes a tough catch for a first down.
A big night for these wide receivers, I have a feeling, because you get the sense already that Westside doesn't like their chances running the ball between the tackles. These wide receivers are going to get a workout.
Plotz will throw it again, and it is behind the wide receiver, intended for Cal Whiteman. He could not corral it, and it'll be 3rd down. I misspoke. I said it was a first down. It was a little bit greedy. So it is 3rd down and 5 as we near the end of the first quarter. Entertaining. You know what? We promise here on Game Time, and we deliver. We welcome all of you in tonight across the country to football in Nebraska. Plotz to throw on 3rd down and 5. Under pressure by Vincent. Gets rid of it. And another great catch. Jumping high is Schweiger coming down. And a first down for Caleb Schweiger.
Wow, that's a heck of a way to load one side of the field. They motion Coles out of the backfield into the slot. And then you've got Coles and Schweiger lined up next to one another. What do you do with that?
And Plotz knew the pressure was coming from Vincent. Look at the hit here. Stood in there, got rid of it. And again, anything that is thrown in the zip code, Schweiger will catch it. That's a first down. At the 44, Plotz looks over a 4-man front. Majority is throwing the football. So far, he goes deep, and it is incomplete. Way out of the reach of Schweiger. He was man-to-man coverage down the far sideline. Clock stops with 1:14 to go here in the first quarter. There's John Schreiner on Gary Sharp. Megan Scolio is with us tonight on the sidelines. And Plotz hung in there. He knows that he's going to take it tonight. Justin Clark Wagner came in there and gave him a little love tap to the field turf. 2nd down and 10. Plotz will put it up again. Now he's chased out of the pocket on the run. Finds his man out of the backfield, and that's going to be a first down. Matthew Gurnett, the fullback, caught it, and yards after catch, pretty key there, John. That's a first down for Westside.
You have to keep an eye on everybody who's an eligible receiver when Dylan Plotz is in the backfield, because he will sling it around the yard. He'll find the open man, and that time it was big fullback Gurnett.
Burke has not faced this kind of an offense this year. They faced a lot of power run game offenses. Plotz again to throw it near sideline. Makes another connection to Packett. And there is a flag after Packett goes down.
Packett with the reception on the tackle.
There a minute to go in the first quarter, and the penalty is on Westside. Skip Kennedy, veteran referee in the Metro Omaha area. Great look there. Jaden Coles is caught with his hand in the cookie jar. The block in the back.
We saw Plotz throw the ball in week 1 over 40 times. He might be on pace to go over that tonight.
John, in that game, he threw for 369 yards. And some would say it was not one of his better nights. Plotz, quick toss, in traffic, and a catch, and then a drop. Oh, for a moment, Weideman had it among a trio of Bulldogs, and then it just slipped out of his paws. But you're seeing how there is so much trust in the wide receivers that wherever Plotz puts it, they're going to catch it. Now, that one was a little bit off the mark, but Weideman almost pulled it in.
Yeah, good play by Javon Vinson to get right in the receiver's face and force him to drop the pass.
Second down and 19 after that penalty. Big yardage for Westside. Plotz chased out of the pocket, falling down, throws it up, and it is caught by Schweigert. He dances away from one defender, and he bulls his way to the 20. That is near a first down. Oh, my.
Wow, these two have some kind of special connection. Plotz, by all rights, should be sacked right here. Henrich has a hold of him. Schweigert snags it out of the air, beats a man. What a player. Nebraska's best wide receiver just made a play.
Westside again driving down the field in a 7-7 game. Burke trying to get the right personnel on the field. A trio of wide receivers to the top of your screen. This time an inside handoff to Gurnett. Reverses course, cuts it inside of the 20 for a pickup of 3.
And now with all the passing that Westside has done on this possession, that little inside fullback run opens up a little bit. Gurnett finds a little bit of a seam. Probably had more there if he stays play side instead of cutting it back.
7-7 after 1. It's game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
On demand from Cox Advanced TV, there's
Charles Drew selected Cox Business because in the healthcare arena, it is imperative that we have transfer of data that is reliable, flexible, and fast. On average, Charles Drew Health Center has about 33,000 phone calls a month. With IP-Centrics, the system was very intuitive, and it allowed us to be reactionary to the needs of our patients. Cox Business Solutions has allowed us to be more efficient and effective in meeting the needs of the greater Omaha community. Cox Business is a great partner.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
7 after the first 12 minutes. Number 1 Omaha Burke, number 8 Omaha Westside in Class A, which is the largest class in the state of Nebraska. The 8 classes. Dylan Plotz has driven Westside all the way down to the 18. His 20th pass of the night is dropped by Coles. 25 plays now, John, have been run by Westside. 20 of them have been through the air. Plotz is 12 of 20, 115 yards. Now it's 3rd down and 8 at the 18-yard line.
I'm not sure that the run-pass ratio is that much of a surprise to us. It is a bit of a surprise how many plays they were able to run in that first quarter. 24 plays run by Westside in 12 minutes of game time. They had the ball for 1 possession and a half.
This drive started after freshman Avante Dickerson picked off Tyler Chadwick for the first time this year. Wide receiver fell down, pass incomplete. Weideman fell at the 15-yard line. The Warriors will be forced to attempt a field goal. From here, it's about 35 yards for Jack Bush, who has 3 field goals this year. And the sophomore will look at the pillars. 35 yards away. 7-7 our score. Last year in this game, Burke won 28-21 2 years ago. Westside knocked off the Bulldogs. Snap back, hold down. Bush's kick is on the way, and it is good. 35-yard field goal by Jack Bush. Puts Westside back on top, 10-7. So they get points off the turnover. Key that they got points on another long drive.
How about that? Big defensive stand for Burke after it looked like Westside was just going to march right down the field and put another one in the end zone. Burke defense comes up with the stop. But Jack Bush, we saw him in game 1. He kicked the field goal that gave Westside the lead late. Prep was able to drive down and score, but Bush has been clutch.
And Westside has been good so far. Megan Scolio.
Hey guys, before the game I noticed that Sam Parsonage was carrying a sledgehammer onto the field when the team ran out. And I asked what was going on, and I guess it goes to the guy who made the biggest impact in their last game, and it's a tradition they have with the Warriors.
Thanks, Megan. Megan will chat with one of our 2 head coaches at halftime. Last week, we saw Westside beat Central 63-7 here on Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week. We're also looking forward at halftime. Don Kohler, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations for Iowa Western Community College, will join us on the field. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend at Iowa Western. Everybody wants to know about that football program. They are off this weekend. They are currently number 9 in the junior college rankings. 10-7. Peter Navoa kicks it into the nighttime sky in Omaha. And this kick will be returned by James Burks, and he's got a seam. Burks cut to the outside. There is a flag down. Navoa, the kicker, will throw Burks down. There is a flag down. This looks like it will be coming back. But that just shows you how shifty James Burks can be. He can get skinny through a hole like he did there. But see now as he sees the flag, he's got to turn around, and they're going to have to march the wrong way if you're wearing the black and gold of the Burke Bulldogs.
Well, you don't want to kick it to Burks. He averages almost 50 yards a kick return. Kick it away from him. He does this, and there you see there might be the penalty right there, as the Burke blocker couldn't see the number holding down the Westside player on the turf. And that's probably going to be what the flag is about.
And there are some video game numbers that are being put up by this Burke offense. They trailed 10-7. Westside scored on their opening drive. An 8-yard touchdown pass from Dylan Plotz to Caleb Schweigert. Burke didn't take very long to respond. James Burks scored on the ground. And then the Jack Bush 35-yard field goal. After the penalty on the kickoff, Burke takes over at their own 19-yard line, just underway in the second quarter at Phelps Field on the campus of Westside High School in Omaha. Here's Burks again. Barajas with the tackle, joined by Brett Curran. Barajas, one of the top tackle leaders for Westside, now over 30 tackles this season for the sophomore.
Excellent play by Barajas to come through and make that stop. Burks had a little bit of a seam, and Barajas just closed it down.
Westside has been to the playoffs 7 straight years. 31 times in the history of the school they've been to the playoffs. That is 5th overall in the state of Nebraska. It's actually 2nd overall in Class A. But they have not won a state title since the 80s. And the timeout is taken by Burke. They had a lot of personnel, and it was not the quarterback, Tyler Chadwick, that called timeout. It was Stephen Eloy that said, we don't know what we're doing here. We've got to take our 2nd timeout of the first half. And with 10:48 to go, Paul Lamanji, in his 12th year, will listen in on what the confusion was. Down 10-7, Burke 5-0 this year. They've gotten better every week, and again, it's a young team. We say that, and say, how can they be preseason #1? But often 8-3 2016 team, a lot of these key players tonight were sophomores or juniors.
That's right, Gary. James Burks, Tyler Chadwick, Dylan Sales, Chris Hickman, so many juniors that play significant roles. And Chris Henrich on the defensive side, just really good players in that junior class. It's been sort of the renaissance for Burke football. After 2011, they had some struggles. This junior class, when they were freshmen, only won 3 games, but they have really come along.
2 years ago, they were 3-6, tossed to Burks to the outside. Alex Nielsen slowed him up. Burks still moving the right direction. How did he ever get a yard out of that? That could have been for a negative yard after he ran smack dab into Alex Nielsen, a little shovel toss to the outside. So Burks did a good job of at least getting a yard.
So it's that wrestler balance. Just great feet, able to stay on his feet after Nielsen tried to sling him to the ground.
His wrestling coach, Wes Bain, is an assistant on Paul Lamanji's staff. 3rd down and 4 for Burke. Hickman out to the top of your screen. Chadwick looks that way. Hickman makes the catch and was hit immediately, but that's a 1st down and a pickup of 9 for Chris Hickman. 6'6", 210-pound junior. Hauls in his 12th pass of the season.
And good job by Curran coming up from his free safety spot to go ahead and make that tackle. If he doesn't, Hickman's still running.
Offered by Mike Riley in Nebraska at the Rutgers game in Lincoln this past weekend. He's also been offered by Iowa State, Ole Miss, among others. Last year was All-State honorable mention. Burks, quick hitter for 6. So it's been Dylan Plotz for Westside through the air and James Burks on the ground for Burke.
Last play, the H-back, Zach Tatum, guy who doesn't get a lot of run. Huge block coming through and putting it on Barajas to spring that play.
Tatum in motion. Snap back to Chadwick. Run pass option. Chadwick keeps it. Now he is thrown down. Brett Curran came up from his safety position to throw Chadwick for a loss.
How about Curran? He has shown up for this defense tonight, just running alleys, coming downhill. Look at him flash into the screen. Grabs the talented junior and whips him to the ground.
This is a district game. It is District 1 in Nebraska. It is kind of a top-heavy district with these 2 teams and the defending Class A champion, Bellevue West.
I would say it's kind of a brutal district for everybody involved. That's a tough one.
Big 3rd down for Chadwick. Pass out to the near side is caught, and a 1st down and more. Eloy bowled over a Warrior. You don't need Skip Kennedy to tell you if it's a 1st down. Eloy will signal it for you.
So good job of staying alive. And then there's Xavier Watts again, making a block on the outside, springing a wide receiver to get downfield. Xavier Watts is doing work in the blocking tonight.
Pick up a 15. This is the series after Tyler Chadwick threw his 1st interception of the season. It led to a field goal that put Westside on top. Pass to the near flat to Davis. Pitch and catch. And that is a quick pickup of 5 for Darnell Davis. Senior wide receiver who had a 59-yard reception back in the 1st quarter.
There's that freshman again. Avante Dickerson comes off, fights through the block, and makes the tackle after only a short gain.
They'll snap it from the 42. Chadwick with Burks behind him. Hands it off to Burks, running right, cuts it back. And is able to muscle his way for a first down. So this Burke drive looks very familiar to Bulldog followers. A bit of variety, up tempo. Now all the way down to the 36-yard line. Burke has yet to lead tonight, and James Burks carries again. Great balance, and he's always falling forward with that wrestling pedigree. And he falls forward here, close to a first down. He's going to be shy of about a yard.
No surprise that they're having success running over the right side with Reiner at 260 and Sales at 235, the two biggest offensive linemen.
Burks again slowed up in the backfield. And he'll go down for a loss of 3.
Heck of a play on that defensive line. I think it's the nose. Nolan Miller-Johnston just shoots through there, gets by the center and makes the play.
And that front 7 for Westside averaged 227 pounds.
Nolan Miller-Johnston is just 185 pounds.
You mentioned Andrew Reiner, who's one of the better offensive linemen in the state, the right tackle for Burke. So it's 3rd down and 3. Henrich in motion, lead blocker, but handoff to Burks, cuts it the other way, and he lunges close to the first down. After making initial contact with Curran, he spun his hips. He may be just shy of the 26-yard line, which would bring up 4th down and 1.
Tough run, but impressive effort by this Westside defense. They're undersized, but they are playing hard here tonight.
Red Freund, seeing that Burke is all set to go for it, on 4th down and 1, will take a timeout. We will follow suit. Westside 10, Burke 7. The Bulldogs with a big decision here on 4th down. Game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
Hey, little man, I'm your name.
At DiVentures, we want to create a full-service customer experience. Cox Business, as our technology partner, does exactly that. The team at Cox Business came in, took a look at our business, and recommended top-notch solutions. With IP-Centrics, we have a managed, scalable solution to meet all of our customer needs. We get hundreds of phone calls a day, thousands over the course of a week. Because we have Cox Business, we can focus on what we love to do, being on the water and in the water.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
Trailing by a field goal. Game time on YurView. Chadwick looks at an 8-man front, hands it off to Burks, and he's got the first down. He's like a hammer coming through there, and that's a pick of a 3 when they just needed 1.
This was one of the keys to the game, was the Westside rush defense. They did good in the first quarter, but it looks like the holes are just getting a little bit bigger. Burks is finding a few more seams, and maybe this defense is starting to wear down just a bit.
They'll go right back to Burks, and he'll go right back down. Alex Nielsen, who is built like a football player.
I think he's built like a fire hydrant.
He makes the tackle for the loss. 5'11", 220-pound senior, fullback, linebacker, and not James Burks' best friend right there. That is a loss of 4. And James Burks carrying the workload for Burke. Great story online at YurView.com. John had a chance to talk to him about making his ascension from the mean streets of Northeast Omaha. The pass is incomplete off the fingertips of Davis, and that will bring up 3rd down and 14
After that big play by Nielsen now, this Burke offense, which was just chugging along, really needs to make a big play, and they've gone to Darnell Davis in these spots when they've needed a big play. So we'll see what Chadwick and company can dial up right here.
From here, it's a 42-yard field goal. Jason Gutierrez has one. Paul Lamanji's not thinking that way. He'd like 14 yards on third down. Snap back to Chadwick. Play action. Pressure. Throws it towards the end zone. It is caught by Hickman. It is a touchdown.
Complete breakdown in pass coverage. It's bracket coverage around Hickman. They've got one underneath and one over top. Stegman behind, and I think it's Nielsen underneath. Excuse me, it's Curran underneath. Stegman over top, and neither one goes to make a play on the ball. And a 6'6" Hickman goes up and gets it and waltzes across the goal line.
Rivals.com has Chris Hickman as a 3-star. At 6'6", he hauls in his 6th touchdown pass of the year. And that puts Burke on top for the first time. That was on 3rd down and 14 as the left-footed kicker Jason Gutierrez is out. And YurView in your living room tells you that it's now 14-10 Burke. So they convert a 4th down and 1, and then Hickman helps out Chadwick when you're 6'6", makes the catch, turns, falls into the end zone. 14-10 Omaha Burke.
Oh boy. That one is going to haunt those two defensive backs for a while. They had great positioning, great coverage. Just neither one could locate the ball and make a play.
Hickman last year, 15 catches, 7 of them for touchdowns. He's not only 6'6", but he runs routes really well. Chris Hickman and Nick Henrich, junior teammates at Burke, who have both been offered by Nebraska. People ask him all the time, "You're going to be a combo deal?" I say, hey, we get along, we like each other. We're teammates, we're classmates, but not necessarily so. There's a lot of people in this state that would love to see Chris Hickman and Nick Henrich playing football in the future in Lincoln. Hickman, unofficial visit. Mike Riley walked over about an hour before kickoff this past Saturday. Started the conversation. The next thing you know, the president, Hank Bounds, was there. They said, "How would you like to play at the University of Nebraska, Chris? Hey, this is our official offer to you." And that smile on his face, boy, I think it's still there. It's even bigger now after he makes the catch for the touchdown to put the #1 ranked Burke Bulldogs on top for the first time tonight here at Phelps Field, 14-10. Another short kickoff, and it is fumbled, and it is recovered by Burke. Miscommunication, 2 Warriors going for the short kickoff. The recovery by Bobby Murray. The first turnover by Westside couldn't have come at a worse time here in the first half.
Well, it looks like neither team has wanted to kick deep tonight, and that is unfortunate for Westside. Trevor Barajas just coming in from the side. He's got to know that I think it was Stegman has position there, camped out underneath it. Wow, that's a huge break for the Bulldogs.
Bobby Murray, Paul Lamanji says, when I think of Burke football, I think of Bobby Murray, 3-year starter at linebacker. He's not your prototypical linebacker. As you see, he's not big. He's 6 foot 185. But what he lacks in size makes up in how tenacious he is. And also, he wins points with the game time crew here in Omaha because Bobby is in a band. He's a drummer. He's played different gigs around town. He's a senior in high school. He's been doing it for a few years.
I thought you were going to say it was the neck roll that scored him the points.
I think when you play linebacker, you're automatically forced to wear the neck roll. And then linebackers today look at film of linebackers 20 years ago and they go, look at those shoulder pads. How big were they? So Murray with the recovery on the fumble on the punt, the muff. And Burke will take over at the 34-yard line. There is a Westside Warrior that is down on the field, so that is the delay after Burke scores on a touchdown pass from Tyler Chadwick to Chris Hickman to go up 14-10. Trevor Barajas now to his feet. He was involved in that kickoff and then the collision going for the loose ball.
Yeah, it just gets his arm extended and kind of gets hit on the back of that shoulder. And you can see he's in pain immediately.
So we'll make the slow walk off the field. This is week number 6 of the regular season in Nebraska. 6 of 9. Burke is one of 5 Class A teams that are unbeaten. And a lot of Thursday night football tonight because Nebraska is playing on the road tomorrow at Illinois, a rare Friday night Big Ten game that is new this year, and even rarer for Nebraska to be playing Friday night in the Big Ten. But with that being the case and how important Nebraska football is to the state and how much attention there is towards it, nearly 20 schools moved their game from Friday to tonight. Half of Class A, half of the 28 teams are playing tonight. There are a couple of teams that have elected to take up Nebraska's offer because of Nebraska playing on Friday night. Nebraska made Memorial Stadium, their home in Lincoln, available. And there are 3 Lincoln teams and Fremont that will play a doubleheader on Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Burks with a quick pickup of 5 yards. You cannot hesitate when you're playing defense against Burke.
Important defensive position here for Westside. They need to come up with a stop somehow and get the ball back to that offense before half. Because if you go down 21-10 to Burke, going into the break, it's going to be tough sledding when you come out the other side.
14-10 Burke, 4:42 to go in the first half from Westside. Chadwick slings it out to the near side. It's caught by Davis, and he's not going anywhere. Tackled by the freshman Dickerson, who has an interception earlier in this game that led to a Westside field goal. Good open field tackle, and it will be a first down, however, for Burke.
Dickerson looks the part, doesn't he? Just a freshman, but he's made big play after big play. One-on-one tackles, got the interception, fighting through blocks. He's one we're going to have to keep an eye on in the coming years.
This is a defense for Westside with no Barajas on the sidelines with that injury. As you get a look at Avante Dickerson. Can they bow up here? They've been on the field for a majority of the second quarter, and they've been chasing James Burks. Had him pinned up in the backfield, and then next thing you know, Burks is downfield 7 yards.
You know what this is? I feel like we've said it a lot, but this is hips, and this comes from wrestling. You see him strength through the hips, able to just shrug off those arm tackles when they're wrapped around his waist, keep his legs moving, and get extra yards.
What John wanted to tell you there is one of his favorite songs is Hips Don't Lie.
Well,
with James Burks, that's the case.
It's certainly the case.
2nd down and 1, and Burks again running. And he breaks 1 tackle, gets 5 more yards. There is a flag down. It will be holding. Again, if you were just tuning in, you're on Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week, and you're wondering why Skip Kennedy will not pay attention to us. The press box here is across from our vantage point, so that is why Skip's not being rude. He's just following protocol. So the holding penalty will push the Bulldogs back. They're definitely in field goal range. As we say hello to all of those people that do not have as good a spot as we do. Beautiful night for football. Here in week number 6, we have been blessed with some fantastic weather as there is a timeout on the field. Now we're really getting to know everybody in the press box. There's the PA announcer. There's the Westside coaching staff. They're going to try and figure out on 2nd down and 14 what to dial up against this Burke defense. You can join us next week when we will have the showdown in Elkhorn. Elkhorn South and Elkhorn. Elkhorn South is #1 in Class B. Are you looking for a new career? Explore our programs in business, health, and technology. Get going today on your career path by visiting iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Don Kohler is waiting. I will talk with him at halftime. Don's got his jacket on. He's behind us. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations. He's enjoying this game tonight. Speaking of Iowa Western, their football program, number 9 in the junior college ranks. Gary Patterson, the head football coach at TCU, was on campus early today, talking to Anthony McKinney, who is already verbal to TCU, an offensive lineman, and then he's looking at a defensive lineman from Kansas City named Chester Graves. Darnell Davis is looking to the end zone. Inside of the 10-yard line. Just a little pitch and catch, simple for 16. Is it that simple, John?
Well, it certainly looks that way right now. Burke offense just having its way, kind of doing anything it wants to do. Good blocking downfield again by those Burke wide receivers, and Davis knows what to do with it.
This after a turnover. Burke already up 14-10. Now they're 9 yards away from putting it in the end zone. Henrich moves to the right of Chadwick. Snap back to him. Handoff to Burks. Trying to find a seam. Runs into a horde of Warriors at the 5. That's a pickup of 4. Burks has not only great balance, but fantastic vision.
He's a good one. And Paul Amanji said, you know, not sure exactly what he wants to do at the next level. He's a tremendous wrestler, and he's probably going to be able to go anywhere he wants to with that. But he could have an opportunity to play football as well.
He could also have an opportunity to win 4 state titles in wrestling. He's got a chance here to score, and he does. From 5 yards out, second time tonight, 16th time on the year. And Burke has scored back-to-back touchdowns to take a 20-10 lead with the extra point upcoming.
The right side of that Burke offensive line just mashed everything out into that right flat. And Burks is not going to score an easier one.
So the first turnover by Westside leads to points. Brett Freundt's going to hope that that Westside defense gets a little break here with 2:52 to go in the first half. Gutierrez, PAT through the pillars, and it's now 21-10. 14 unanswered for the #1 team in Class A as we get a look at how this touchdown drive began.
Just a miscommunication between Barajas and Stegman, and then Burke offense doing what it's been doing on the last couple of possessions. Little pass into the flat, sets up the handoff to Burks. Too easy.
21-10 Burke. Here's Megan Scolio on the sidelines with a quick injury update. Megan?
Hey guys, it appears that they're evaluating Trevor Barajas for a concussion. They're looking at him, asked him to smile. They were snapping by his ears to see if he could hear. He looks pretty shaken up right now. I'll let you know if there's any more updates.
Thank you, Megan. Trevor, who is a sophomore, one of the top tacklers, and you get a look right there. He was injured on that kickoff that you saw the replay. 21-10. And this Westside offense, we may have to put name tags on guys, John. They haven't been out there for a while. Almost that entire second quarter, the football was in the hands of either the quarterback for Burke, Tyler Chadwick, or in the midsection of James Burks.
Yeah, that defense for Westside had been out there for a long time, so it's not a surprise that they were able, Burke, to run the ball so effectively. And now this offense definitely needs to give them a break. They cannot afford to go 3 and out and put that defensive group back out there again.
Short kickoff is caught by a Burke assistant. That will always garner a flag. So good field position for Westside. When the Warriors have been out there, they've been able to move the football. Majority night have been through the air. We've gotten to see Jaden Coles and how talented he is on the ground. But Westside feels that they can penetrate this Burke defense better with those quick slants. Tossing stuff out to the sidelines and turning it upfield. We'll see what the game plan is here as they will start from their own 35-yard line. 2:52 to go in the first half. Burke's defense was late getting on the field. Cole's out of the backfield, and he's got a lot of room to run. Not sure what happened, and Cole's bumped from behind it while he was out of bounds by Davis. That's going to be an additional 15. We're going to have to rewind the tape here. Somebody forgot to call the Burke defense to get him on the field. They were late getting out there, and Westside took advantage of it.
Well, you take a bad situation and make it worse by just a silly hit from the back. Just goofy. I mean, what are you doing? Cameron Coleman comes in, plants a shoulder in Jaden Coles' back when he's 3-4 yards out of bounds. after getting out there late, that's going to draw the ire of Paul Lamongi right there.
All of a sudden, on one play, he went from the 35 to the 41. Plots chased out of the pocket, steps up, throws it downfield, but is incomplete. It was too low for Caleb Schweigert.
That last sequence in film study on Saturday morning for Paul Lamongi and company, he's going to rewind that thing about 100 times and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Again, they were scrambling to get on the field. This is like you're playing playground football. I'm not sure if the ball was set and they just didn't get the memo. Inside handoff. And this is Coles with some room. Absorbs a big hit at the 30, but not after he picks up 11 as he ran right into Jalen Roussel. Coles, who was born in Lincoln, would like to be pre-med in college. He used his head right there. He lowered it and got himself 11. One of the rare carries here in the first half for Jaden Coles, and now he lines up as a wide receiver. All alone in the backfield is Plot. Snap back to him. Toss to Coles, catches it, and he tiptoes down the sidelines for 7.
There's that formation again where Coles motions out of the backfield and lines up next to Schweigert. So tough when you've got those two weapons on the same side of the field. And then he just finds a hole in that coverage and sits down. Good link up with Plots, and Westside back in business.
Coles being looked at by numerous Division II schools in the area, most notably Northwest Missouri State, the defending Division II champion. That play was diagnosed immediately on the toss out into the flat to Weideman. Right there was Eloy to make the one-on-one tackle.
Yeah, just not a real great block out on the perimeter by Brueggemann. He didn't do enough. He's got to get Eloy and just take him to the sideline and give his receiver a chance. But good job by Eloy to just attack that play.
Eloy transferred from Omaha South prior to this season. 90 seconds to go in the first half. You're in field goal range. 3rd down and 6, though. You're down 21-10, and Plotz will put it up with some pressure. Slings it to the outside, and it is incomplete. He wanted Schweigert just out of his reach. Now 3rd down and 6, John. This is a 43-yard field goal. Bush has already hit a 35-yard field goal. I may have misspoke. It might be just a little bit out of his range. At 4th down and 6, it looks like the Warriors will go for it.
Yeah, and I think at this point, down 21-10, you kind of have to. You got to keep pace. You got to hold serve here.
Big 4th down and 6. Plotz is chased out of the pocket, tripped up, and he goes down. Nick Henrich with a sack. And it's turned over on downs. Nick Henrich, well, that's not a surprise. That's his 7th sack in 6 games this year. That is his 14th tackle for loss.
The offensive line for Westside just didn't quite hold up. Didn't give Plotz enough time to find someone downfield, but good coverage on the back end. We've seen Plotz get the ball out of his hand early a lot here, but just not quick enough that time.
Henrich has been offered by Iowa, Iowa State, Kentucky, Minnesota, Nebraska, Ohio, South Dakota State. 3-star linebacker. Nebraska in their new 3-4 sees him as a inside linebacker, maybe a middle linebacker, and we see James Burks hopping over a defender for another big pickup. How do you do, my man? That is for 21.
8.5 yards per carry. James Burks coming into this one. Just gets in behind that offensive line that is just starting to mash in this game now.
21-10. Nearing the minute mark left in the first half. Chadwick, patient. The toss is too high for the intended wide receiver. He wanted Darnell Davis in the double coverage. Clock stops, 54 seconds to go. Westside was up 10-7. Then Burke drove down the field and scored, and the ensuing kickoff was fumbled. Burke put it in the end zone, and Burke has the ball right back with the state's #2 offense, where they'll snap it from the 44-yard line. Chadwick hands it off to Burks, reverses course for 2. Good tackle by Parsonage. So you could say, as Megan's earlier report, he brought the sledgehammer to bring down somebody who is built like a sledgehammer in James Burks.
Well, it was a good play by Parsonage. He's coming from the backside, and He's got cutback lane, and Burks tries to take the cutback lane, and Parsonage a good job to cut it off.
Hope you're enjoying tonight's Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. It's showdown week. With Game Time all across the country. Burks will run it here on 3rd down and 8. And he will be short of the 1st down, and the clock will run out. We are headed to halftime. Burke 21, Westside 10.
First half, really, the story is turnovers. Omaha Burke recovers that kick that was muffed when the 2 Westside players, Stegman and Barajas, miscommunicated after a good start on offense for Westside. That really shifted the momentum in this one. And then Burke, an offensive line, just started going to work late in the first half, giving James Burks all kinds of room to run. He's got a couple of touchdown rushes in this one to add to the 14 he had coming in. And then the big TD pass to Chris Hickman. It's just been the story of the game here was that Westside defense against the bigger Burke offense, and Westside able to hold up early, but got leaned on a little bit. We're going to go down to the field now as Megan Scolio has Paul Lamanji.
All right, Coach, second quarter there, you guys converted that 4th and 1, which led to the touchdown. You guys took the lead. It seemed like your offense really settled in then. What did you think overall?
Yeah, we just came out. We were just really, really excited to get going. We were very emotional coming out. And our kids just needed to calm down. We just need to take a few deep breaths, settle in a little bit, and just do what we do. And I think, I like where we're at right now.
How are you feeling about your defense right now?
I feel good. I like where we're at.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Paul Lamanji feeling good about his team headed into the break. They lead it 21-10 at the half. It's Game Time on YurView.
You're watching the National.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Okay, it's decision time. I want flexibility, more doing, hands-on experience, and working sooner. I gotta make a choice. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
All of our registration systems and the staff systems are based in the cloud, so it's important that our internet connectivity is up all the time. To me, it was clear as soon as we met with Cox Business, they were going to listen to what we needed and design a solution for what was going to be best for us. Having Cox Business as our one provider has allowed us to more easily manage our daily processes. If anything happens or if there's anything I need changed, it's just a phone call or an email away.
Field, the home of the Westside Warriors, where the Burke Bulldogs, #1 team in Class A, lead at 21-10 over Westside. Our halftime festivities kick off. We're going to listen in now to the Marching Warriors, the Westside Marching Band.
great. We try to promote a university feel to our campus, and I think we have done that.
Don, thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's Don Kohler, the Vice President of Marketing Public Relations for Iowa Western. IWCC.edu for more information. The world is waiting. We're back with more at halftime, where Burke leads Westside 21-10. Game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Charles Drew selected Cox Business because in the healthcare arena, it is imperative that we have transfer of data that is reliable, flexible, and fast. On average, Charles Drew Health Center has about 33,000 phone calls a month. With IP-Centrics, the system was very intuitive, and it allowed us to be reactionary to the needs of our patients. Cox Business Solutions has allowed us to be more efficient and effective in meeting the needs of the greater Omaha community. Cox Business is a great partner.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
The half. Burke leads at 21-10 over Westside, and now we'll get a look at the Westside Marching Band.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to...
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Of caregivers come from, who trains them, who mentors them, who inspires them. At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
Led with Burke jumping out on top, 21-10. Game time on YurView. Halftime at Phelps Field. Burke against Westside. Westside will get the football to begin the second half. But before we ever get there, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first 24 minutes and some numbers that will show you the prolific offenses that are on display tonight.
Well, Paul Lamongi said that his team needed to calm down at the beginning of this one, and you have to agree. They started off with a punt, and then Westside marches right down the field and punches it in. Schweigert with the touchdown catch, and then it was right back for Burke on offense, and that man, Darnell Davis, found some room down the sideline. Good block by Xavier Watts to spring him. And then James Burks, very next play, punches one in from a few yards out. His 15th rushing score in 5.5 games this season. And then the first interception of Tyler Chadwick comes via the freshman Avante Dickerson, ensuing possession. A field goal by Jack Bush made it 10-7, and then Burke took over. This pass from Chadwick to Chris Hickman, the 6'6" tight end, offered by Nebraska last week, shows up in the end zone, football in his hands, and it was 17-10. Then, after the muffed kickoff, Burks into the end zone for touchdown number 2, and it's 21-10 at the half.
Burks now with 16 touchdowns on the ground this year. That leads the state of Nebraska. 21-10. Burke number 1 in the state. And for the most part, fairly even until that last drive by Burke. But let's first start on the right side. Majority of tonight has been through the air, courtesy of Dylan Plotz. They tried to establish a run game late there in the first half with Jaden Colesjohn.
Yeah, I just think that they don't like what they see up front in the run game, and they're trying to use those slants and passes to the flat as sort of extensions of the running game, getting the ball into the hands of Jaden Coles that way rather than handing it off to him in the backfield.
It was all Burke in that second quarter. They held on to the football. They put it in the end zone. They lead 21-10 at halftime. Third quarter is upcoming. Game time on YurView.
On demand from Cox Advanced TV, there's more exciting.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
All of our registration systems and the staff systems are based in the cloud, so it's important that our internet connectivity is up all the time. To me, it was clear as soon as we met with Cox Business, they were going to listen to what we needed and design a solution for what was going to be best for us. Having Cox Business as our one provider has allowed us to more easily manage our daily processes. If anything happens or if there's anything I need changed, it's just a phone call or an email away.
National Game of the Week. Game time on YurView from Westside High School. Burke leading Westside. Megan Scolio is with Westside head coach Brett Front.
All right, Coach, after they converted that 4th and 1 in the second quarter, they started taking the lead and pulling away. What did you notice about your defense?
Got a little tentative, you know. We had to move some guys around on defense because of an injury, and they got a little tentative there for a while. But they're playing hard. We keep getting them in good position, 3rd and possession plays, and we don't make the play at the time. So we pick that up, get a couple punts on them, and I think we'll get back in the game pretty quickly.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Megan. They will get the football to begin the second half and will need a drive. Points, yes, but at least time off the clock, because as you saw there on the stats from our statistician, Joe Ziski, nearly 16 minutes time of possession for Burke. If you're just becoming familiar with high school football, there's only 24 minutes and a half.
Yeah, and some of that is a function of how Westside runs its offense. They're gonna go quick. They're gonna throw the ball a lot, so there's gonna be incomplete passes, and not as much time is gonna run off the clock as it is with Burke, who's mainly gonna be running the ball or throwing shorter passes. So some of that is a function of how the two teams like to play the game, but certainly after that muffed kick and Burke got back-to-back possessions, kept that Westside defense out on the field for so long, that was really the big difference in the first half.
Next week, we'll be back on our normal Friday night. We'll have the Battle of Elkhorn, the #1 team in Class B, 2-time defending champion, Elkhorn South, with Moses Bryant, who is being highly recruited by the likes of Nebraska and Notre Dame. They will take on Elkhorn. Always a great showdown. Elkhorn South is just rolling right along. And will this be the year that Elkhorn pulls an upset before Elkhorn South goes off to Class A next year? For people that are tuning in around the country and you hear us refer to Class A in Nebraska is the largest class, the top 28 schools. And then you have Class B. You have C1, C2, D1, D2. And here in this great state of 1.9 million, we play 8-man and 6-man football.
And 6-man is a little bit different. It's just, they play on an 80-yard field, and there's tons of room, and scores in the 70s are frequent in 6-man football.
Burke comes out to start the second half. Their eyes are on, I guess you would say, the prize. School has never won a state football championship. And the state champions are crowned at the home of the University of Nebraska in Lincoln Memorial Stadium in late November. Jaden Coles, who last week on Game Time returned the opening kickoff against Central, 95 yards for his score. Look at Brett Freund ask for that here, 21-10 as we get set for the start of the second half. There's John Schreiner. I'm Gary Sharp. You just saw Megan Scolio and our fantastic crew that is here on a beautiful night for football. Coles won't get a chance. They're avoiding him. Another short kick. This time it's taken by Parsonage, and Parsonage will backpedal across the 30-yard line to the 31. And maybe the first accomplishment is they held on to the football because a fumble on a kickoff led to a Burke touchdown. That's where we're at, 21-10.
Well, but Burke is saying, we'll give you the ball at the 30. We're just not going to let Jaden Coles have a chance to crack one for 90 yards. And Paul Lamanji's just putting a lot of trust in his defense, giving this Westside offense decent field position every time they kick off. And it's going to be incumbent on that defense to live up to those expectations.
Dylan Plotz Made his hay through the air. Gurnett now shifts to the left of the quarterback. And they will start with a handoff to Coles, trying to cut it to the outside with a stiff arm on Davis, and a good pickup. He's out to the 44. That is a pickup of 15. Didn't get a lot of Jaden Coles on the ground until it was late in that first half. And here a nice run with good speed to the outside. Got around Davis and was able to pick up 10 more.
Well, it looks like Davis is going to have the angle on him, and Coles just outruns the angle. Gets a little bit of a stiff arm. Nice pickup on first down for the Westside offense.
But if they could run the football, what will that do to Plotz? And what will this do to Jaden Coles? Oh, he had a seam for a moment, and then it quickly closed. But as he scampered across midfield, he's got another big pickup. That could have been 6.
Well, this just opens up for the Burke defense pursuing to the outside. The middle softens up, and if Jaden Coles doesn't run into the official, he might add an even bigger gain.
Vincent was able to bring him down, and the sticks move. Coles on the end around, a great play fake, and the reverse, and into the 25-yard line is Joseph Stegman. Coles sold that fake fantastic. Everybody bid on it.
Never saw it coming. Look at this. Good job. Stegman coming around. He's got great blocking. Runs through a tackle at the end of this one. And now Westside, last time they got down here, turned it over on downs. Got to finish this drive.
The end around for 19, the handoff to Coles. And he will be stoned for a pickup of 1.
How about 4 straight running plays from this Westside offense to start the second half?
Now you get the feeling on 2nd down and 9, 24 yards away from the end zone, that Dylan Plotz is thinking about testing it. Out of the backfield, swings it to Coles, eluded one tackler, cutting to the outside, and he's knocked out of bounds. Open field, he is a pain if you are wearing all white.
My goodness, he's so long. Look at him get that arm way out there. Such long arms and legs and those big strides. He's just by you before you know it.
Westside has taken the kickoff all the way from the 29 now to the 7. First down and goal. Plotz stretch play. Coles slipped in the backfield.
And that's one of those where you're just happy to see him get up, because that is a knee breaker. When that knee buckles on the inside plant foot like that, you can see bad things happen, and it's good to see Jaden Coles up, but they're going to pull him off just to check him out in case something did happen.
So 2nd down and 9. Coles, who has accounted for 16 touchdowns this year, is on the sidelines. Snap back to Plotz. Chased out of the pocket. Throws it up to the end zone. There is a flag in the end zone. There was contact. Caleb Schweigert got tangled up with the defensive back for Burke, that being Gio Maynor, holding on Maynor in the end zone. So a break for Westside. Smart play by Plotz. He saw the contact and then just threw it up. Knew a flag was coming.
And he gave Maynor a chance, or he gave, rather, Schweigert a chance. Maynor just had that arm hooked, pulling Schweigert back because he was beaten.
Now the pigskin rests at the 4, and Coles is back in. The deep man in the formation. He'll receive the handoff. And to the goal line. A great look there. But they'll call him down at the 1. He thought he had crossed the plane.
Usually a long strider takes a long time to get up to full speed, but Jaden Coles hits the line with tremendous velocity, and that should be a touchdown.
That's a great shot by our goal line cam. No debating this one. Touchdown by Gurnett, and an opening second half drive by Westside. Puts a crooked number on the board, and they're within 5 with the extra point upcoming. And what a drive for Westside from their own 29 to Matthew Gurnett scoring from a yard out.
Now that is a statement drive from Westside. They came out and said, okay, we tried to finesse you in the first half. We were trying to chuck it around the yard, run slants and seam patterns. Here it is. We're going to run straight at you, try and stop it. And now they're going to go for 2.
sitting at 21-16. Plots on the two-point conversion. Pump fake. He's wide open if he can run it. He will cut it back, diving to the end zone. He is in for the two-point conversion.
I said it in the open. He's sneaky out of that backfield. He looks like he's kind of a statue back there at times, but you give him a little bit of a seam, and he can run with it. You see right here, nice little cut back inside, sets up the dive, and gets in for two, and we got a three-point football game.
What a drive by Westside. We all sat around and said, boy, you know, they need to probably score. Were they listening to us? I think they were.
Somebody over there streaming us on YurView.com.
Let's look how Westside ended up in the end zone to draw within a field goal of the state's #1 team.
Well, this was the Jaden Coles drive right from the beginning. They get him on a run, throw him the ball out in the flat. He should get credited with a touchdown on the play right before. Gurnett into the end zone, and then Plots. How about the savvy vet? Picking up the two-point conversion, making it a three-point game.
9:18 to go in the third quarter. Westside, they're leading 10-7. They come out of the locker room, put it in the end zone. We saw a lot more Jaden Coles on that drive. And Burke will get the football for the first time in the second half.
Here we go, boys. Let's go, baby.
Westside #8. And the kickoff is fumbled. It's recovered by, no, Westside had it and then it squirted free. Oh my. A short kickoff, mishandled. Westside had two players on top of it, and then the football squeaked out, and Burke recovers it.
Unbelievable.
Tyson Guzman had the football, and then it just went away from him, and Burks was able to scramble to get on top of it. Oh my, what that would have done. We saw what it did in the first half when Westside fumbled the kickoff. Burke put it in the end zone. So Burke gets new life in their first possession of the second half. And Burks stopped in the backfield, but then, as we've been seeing all night, he weaves his way, pinballing off Warriors for a pickup of 4. What a turn of events.
Wow. That is one of those soul crushers. When you have the opportunity to get a big turnover and it just doesn't break your way, you don't quite make the play. This is a big spot for this Burke offense.
Burks, the two-time state champion wrestler, as a flag comes down. Henrich was in motion. And that's not good motion for Burke, and that'll push him back 5 yards. 21-18. This is a district game. A win by Burke, and they're into the playoffs. We expect both of these teams to make the postseason. 16 teams of the 28 in the largest class in Nebraska get to play in the postseason. Chadwick stares at his two wide receivers to the top of your screen. Again, Henrich in motion. Three-star linebacker, and again, the same flag.
Another false start.
Paul Lamanji, back-to-back false starts by Burke. Let's just read his lips, shall we? Or maybe, for our younger viewers of Game Time on YurView, maybe not. He's asking the side judge.
Well, procedure penalties are the things that drive head coaches just bananas. The mental mistakes. And now this Burke offense, which really had a chance to dash Warrior hopes, finds itself in a big hole.
Nielsen showing blitz. Chadwick out to the flat, finds the speedy Davis, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit all night long by the Warrior defense. It was spearheaded by Brody Alvarez, the junior defensive end.
Sam Parsonage gets out here and makes a play. Just turns him back inside where he's got help and lets the rest of the Warriors come up and fill in on the tackle. But Parsonage is having a pretty good night so far.
3rd down and 17 after the back-to-back false starts. It's a load for Burke. Burke has to get all the way out to the 41-yard line. Chadwick, 3 wide receivers to his right. Play action, steps up into the pocket. Now looking, has some time, scrambling, and he'll step out of bounds at the 29, and that will force the 2nd Burke punt of the night. Coming into tonight, the #1 team in the state of Nebraska had only punted 8 times in 5 games. They punted to begin the game, and they punt to begin the 3rd quarter. And all of a sudden, Westside down by a field goal is going to get the ball back with really good field position.
That's a wise decision by Chadwick. He was trying to create some space and look downfield, but good coverage on the back end by that Westside defense. Good decision by Chadwick to just get out and give it back to your defense.
Low snap, scooped up by Clayton Haney, and his punt bounces at the 40. Schweigert tried to feign like he was going to pick up the ball, and it is down to the 39. Now things get really, really interesting here at Phelps Field. After Westside drove down the field to score, they get it back down by a field goal. Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. It's always good to see Don Kohler. We had him on at halftime, the Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations. Loves the Reavers. Football, #9 in the junior college ranks. Volleyball, suffering their first loss of the year, dropped to #4. Tough to find better athletic programs than Iowa Western. Here's Coles. Tough to find a better running back or 2 in the state of Nebraska. Sidestepping defenders. Collision knocked out of bounds by Hickman. Coles, a big pickup. You could say, John, that he went shopping for some extra yards on that carry of 22.
Oh, what a play. Jaden Coles, look at this cut right there. The little hop step out of pressure and then finishes it with authority at the end. Jaden Coles has shown up here in the 3rd quarter.
Here's Coles again. Slides down for a pickup of 3. And Burke's got great speed on the outside, but Coles is so elusive. He's got a little jump cut, but he also knows how to take a hit and not go down on first contact.
He has really come to play now in the 3rd quarter, and you can see what Westside said. Okay, we're going to give it to the horse and see what he can get done.
Play action, plots, hit, pass is incomplete. It was way off the mark. He wanted Weideman, who was running right down the middle of the field. Plots got hit by 3 Bulldogs. He stood in there, and maybe an extra second or more, his trajectory is different on that toss, and now it's 3rd down and 7 for the senior signal caller, Dylan Plotz.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure that the pressure had something to do with it, but it looked like he wanted Weideman to break back toward the sideline, and Weideman took it back to the middle of the field. Just a little miscommunication on the route.
3rd down and 7. Plotz under pressure, loses the football, and all he can do is fall on top of it. Brian Barrera was racing in after him from his nose guard spot, and he'll force a punt. Big defensive play by the senior.
Well, that's just something you're going to get. And that was freshman left tackle Cade Haberman, who just whiffed on a block. And that's kind of what happens. You take the good with the bad when you put those youngsters out there.
So Westside will have to punt after Coles got him in pretty good position. Cade Yoakum. Nice snap, hauls it in, kicks it away. And another fortuitous roll for Westside. It'll be down at the 5. That is where Burke, up a field goal, will take over with 5:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
You're watching.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K through 12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
Hope you've enjoyed it tonight. 21-18. With 5:05 to go in the third quarter. And Burke will have the football
on that Triple H
at the 9-yard line. The Westside defense, which was on the field for the majority of the second quarter, have already forced a punt. Jaden Cole's a little cramping issue being taken care of on the sidelines. Been a weird football weather fall here in Nebraska. We've had spotty, we had more 90-degree days in Nebraska in September than we did in August. But we've not seen, as we bring you week number 6, as many cramping issues as we've encountered in the past.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that whatever these teams are doing to stay hydrated, and as it wasn't, as you said, extremely hot early on in the season, they get in better condition as the season goes on, and those hot days don't have such an effect, perhaps.
We went long sleeves tonight. Not because it's chilly, just because it looks good on us. Chadwick changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Threw his first interception of the season tonight. Vontae Dickerson, the freshman, picked it off, but hands it off to James Burks here. And Burks a rumbling and a tumbling, and the next thing you know, he's got 12 yards. Two-time state champion in wrestling in his junior season, is racking up all kinds of yards. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher and he'll have over 20 touchdowns on the ground before the year is over. And that might be being generous. He's had a big night tonight. And he moves the sticks as the clock continues to tick.
Just watch that fullback, Nick Henrich. Tremendous blocker out of the backfield.
Burks with the carry. There's a flag down on the near side. We await the call from Skip Kennedy. And another false start on Burke. They were plagued on their last possession by back-to-back false starts. And this will push them back 5 yards to the 16-yard line.
It's really tough for a team that wants to be kind of run heavy. As we said at the open, 3-to-1 run to pass ratio for Burke. And when you get yourself behind the chains early with penalties, it really throws your whole game plan into flux.
Chadwick, his pass was deflected, caught by Burks for minimal gain.
Burks makes the catch.
That's a screen pass that he's trying to set up here and just can't quite get it over the outstretched arms. You have a look. Good job getting the hands up. Burks able to get a hand on it. Might have been better off just to let that one hit the turf.
Second down and 15, 21-18. Burke is #1 in the state of Nebraska. Westside is #8. Burke has been #1 through the first 5 weeks. First time since 1985 they were preseason #1. Chadwick chased out of the backfield, on the run, throws down the field, and it is broken up. What an attempt for a highlight reel play by Grant Taggy. He reached up with one hand, almost pulled it in.
This is some kind of vertical leap by Taggy. Look at that. Grant Taggy almost came up with it.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Penalty on Burke, ineligible wide receiver downfield. It's waved off.
It's so unlike this team to be shooting itself in the foot like that. I realize that this penalty is declined, but if that pass is completed, it comes back. Burke has really got to shore things up here. This Westside offense is coming.
So it is 3rd and long. You got to get out to the 32-yard line. 21-18. Both of these teams have stepped up in the level of competition here tonight. Toughest test so far for the #1 team. They keep it on the ground. Burks bouncing to the outside. And he'll be ridden down by Joseph Stegman. You say, 3rd down and 16. How come you're not throwing the ball? Well, Burks is about as good as putting it in the air. We've seen him tonight pick up chunk yardage like this, but Stegman, good job. Because when you grab on, you must hold on. And Burke will have to punt again. Back-to-back punts by Burke. I don't think that's happened this year.
Be interesting to go through their possession charts and see, but it can't have happened too often if they've only punted 8 times coming into this game. And now Westside going to have another crack at this thing. Couldn't come up with it on their last possession.
Clayton Haney, the punter for Burke. There is a flag down by the back judge. The reaction would tell you that it is on Burke. Skip Kennedy's reaction will tell you that it is a penalty on Burke.
And I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if they broke the huddle with too many men. It doesn't look like they have too many on the field.
Haney's punt. Schweiger catches it at the 49 on the Burke side of the field. He breaks 1 tackle and he picks up 9. And that is great start for Westside. A field goal away from tying the #1 team in the state. 40 away from a touchdown to go ahead. The Reavers are back in action this season. Follow Iowa Western's championship sports teams, including football and volleyball, at GoReavers.com. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Some emotion picks up from the Westside faithful on a Thursday night at Phelps Field. Feels like fall, feels like a potential upset. Plots under center with Coles deep in the backfield. Play action rolling to his right, now on the run. Plots is hit down after a pickup of about 6 yards. Nick Henrich from his linebacker spot first grabbed onto the senior quarterback. Who doesn't Henrich grab onto? He is such a good football player. Number 42 in your picture right here.
And that's a big collision at the end, too, with Darnell Davis. Protect that thrower shoulder, young man.
Nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 4. Handoff to Coles. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Kiminich. Murray. Hickman. Sounds like a law firm. All in on the tackle for the black and gold of the Burke Bulldogs.
This Burke defense is certainly looking to lay down the law. They need to come up with a big stop here and keep the lead, because the offense has gone into a little bit of a sputter. And defense needs to pick up the slack.
3rd down and 4. Plots barks out the signals, and a flag is down. The play clock had expired on one end of the stadium. It is on Westside. False start.
Yeah, it looked like that perhaps right tackle Jackson McMillan just got a little antsy over there. And why wouldn't you when you're facing down with Chris Hickman?
Westside was in this position last possession and they went the wrong way. Now it is 3rd down and 9. Got to get to the 30-yard line. Plots throws it deep down the field, and Schweiger dropped it at the 25. The sure-handed senior had it in his mitts and couldn't haul it in. It would have been a 1st down.
Well, he's worried about the run after catch. Look, takes his eyes off it for just a half second, trying to locate the defender instead of securing the catch. And that's going to spell punt for Westside.
So the penalty and then the drop. And now a punt from Cade Yoakum. they can pin Burke deep again. That's what they did on the last possession. The two teams trade punts. And the flag, Westside had many a man in motion, which, by the way, is a touring group, maybe coming to a city near you sometime soon. So we're going to push him back another 5 yards. We got James Burks is back deep for the Bulldogs. And Yoakum's done a good job of placing the ball inside of the 20 and then getting a nice roll. But Frank wants to know why there was a penalty. Outstretched arms.
Yeah,
he's asking where?
They're trying to run a little shift on this punt. And where Gurnett steps up onto the line of scrimmage and the wide receiver will back off.
And Brett Freund, the head coach of Westside, is livid. He has called timeout, and now he's running out to midfield. He wants to talk to Skip Kennedy, the referee. He wants to know why the false start was called. He is in the middle of the on-field logo, and he just wants an explanation. He did not get the explanation from the side judge. He just wants a clarification, because that is a big penalty. It has pushed his team back to the 44-yard line and makes it 4th down and 14. They're still going to go through with the punt. Only the 4th time tonight that Westside has been flagged. Burke 9 for 75 yards. With 1:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. I'm just going to say that we've known Coach Frank for a while. He's not happy with that call.
Well, as I said, they're trying to run a shift where the man that's on the wing steps up onto the line and the outside man, the gunner, takes a step back. And what it looked like the official was saying was that his hands came up for Gurnett stepping up onto the line of scrimmage, and that's why the flag was thrown. And that's purely a judgment call by the official. You are allowed to shift formation and move ahead to the line of scrimmage as long as you come set again. But it was the judgment of the official that he had made a false movement, and that is just purely a judgment call.
Yoakum, the punter, will collect the snap back at his own 41. Burks awaits the punt at the Bulldog 10-yard line. Maybe a fake. High snap. Yoakum hauls it in again with the right foot. Burks calls for a fair catch and corrals it at the 16-yard line. So with 1:11 to go and Burke up by a field goal, they'll put their offense, which has stalled here in the second half, back out onto the field. 89.7 The River is your home to awesome alternative rock music. Check us out on the stream at 897theriver.com or search the App Store for 89.7 The River. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. I will tell you that all of us, we huddle up before the broadcast and listen to 89.7 The River to get, as the kids say, well, I'm not sure what the word is for it nowadays. Passed by Chadwick out of the reach of Hickman, but 89.7 The River for your pleasure. It'll be 2nd down as Chadwick couldn't find Hickman out near the sidelines.
Is it hype? Did we get hype before the game?
Well, I was going to say, did they say Crunk?
Crunk, no? maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. Crunk was the one. Turned up. That might be a good one. Turned.
All right. How about how about for us older guys, we just get ready. We get hyped. Burks running to the outside. There was a hold that does not garner a flag. Did not come back to hurt Westside. There's again a gang tackle on Burks. If you get a look at the replay here, you're going to see as Burks runs right by a defender who gets hauled down. But it sets up 3rd down and 8 with under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. 21-18 Burke. This has been a Burke offense that has stalled in the second half. Back-to-back punts. Chadwick, 3 wide receivers in the formation. Fakes the handoff. Chased out of the backfield. Throws it down the middle. Wide open wide receiver. It is caught. It is a big gain. It is out to the 42. That is a pickup of 23 yards into the hands of Stephen Eloy.
Just a little bit of a coverage breakdown. The blitz comes and nobody picks up the receiver in the area from which the blitz comes. Eloy standing all alone, and then Curran has to come over from his free safety spot and make the tackle. But a big 3rd down conversion by this Burke offense, one that they needed after not being able to put one together throughout the 3rd quarter.
And they appear that they're going to let the clock run out And we will go to the fourth quarter. Burke trying to move to 6-0. Westside trying to knock off the #1 team in Class A, 21-18. It's game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get...
At DiVentures, we want to create a full-service customer experience. Cox Business, as our technology partner, does exactly that. The team at Cox Business came in, took a look at our business, and recommended top-notch solutions. With IP-Centrics, we have a managed, scalable solution to meet all of our customer needs. We get hundreds of phone calls a day, thousands over the course of a week. Because we have Cox Business, we can focus on what we love to do, being on the water and in the water.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
Matchup of two top 10 teams in Class A in Nebraska. We go to the fourth quarter. Burke 21, Omaha Westside 18. It was 21-10 in favor of Burke at halftime. Interesting final tonight already. Number 7 Kearney downs Millard North 42-0 as Kearney remains unbeaten. 5 unbeatens beginning the night in Class A. Tyler Chadwick is the quarterback of one of those unbeatens.
A little bit of confusion out there. Not exactly sure what's going on. Looks like they had the ball placed at the wrong yard marker.
They were shorting Steve Eloy some yardage after that catch. So first down and 10 at the 42. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Hand off to James Burks. Ran into traffic behind the line of scrimmage, and then he breaks free, and he breaks to the end zone. Oh my, 58 yards after it looked like he was stopped in the backfield after he ran into the backside of one of his own linemen. Then broke a couple of tackles and slipped his way into the end zone once again.
How did he get through there? He broke 3 tackles, 4 tackles after he ran through the pile. Unbelievable run for his 3rd touchdown of the night. James Burks, the reason he was our featured player to watch.
17 rushing touchdowns now for James Burks. And the quick strike Burke offense. Now with a chance to go up 10 off the left foot of Jason Gutierrez. And they do, and it's 28-18.
28 carries, 186 yards for James Burks. The workhorse is doing work tonight.
So the Burke offense, which was stagnant in the third quarter, one play. We've seen it over and over tonight. When it appears that he is stopped, the legs don't stop.
What a run. What do you do? They've been gang tackling all night, have the Westside defense. They had players at the point of attack on that play. Burks slips a tackle, breaks 4 more on his way to the end zone. Sometimes you just tip your cap, but oh my. Down the stretch. You have to believe that it's going to be number 14 toting the rock for the rest of this fourth quarter.
28 for 186 and 3 scores. Now Westside's offense will have to respond quickly. In a short kickoff, they have kept it away from Jaden Coles all night long. Smart decision. Stegman steps out of bounds at the 39. So the Westside offense has been able to move the football, and then they've gotten into third down, and they've been their own worst enemy.
Back to a 10-point game now, and you kind of feel like this Westside offense has to put points on the board on this possession. They just must keep pace.
And they haven't thrown it much in the second half. We had a heavy dose of Jaden Coles. We have a plethora of wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Coles is on the left hip of Dylan Plotz. Snap back to Plotz. Shovel pass to Coles. Now he'll maneuver his way down the sidelines, and he steps out of bounds. Boy, that's a great play for Coles to just let him work his magic.
And this is one of the things we were talking about with the keys to the game: creativity. Find ways to get your playmakers in space. And right there, the little shovel pass after you stack the trips to the bottom of the screen to draw some attention away. And then that shovel pass to Coles goes for a big one.
Plotz to put it up, looking deep down the near sideline. For Stegman, he caught it!
What you're going to see is good pass protection in the backfield by Coles to give Plotz enough time. Stegman runs a great route and secures the catch down the field.
So Westside quickly goes from the 39-yard line all the way down to the 17. Plotz waiting, scrambling, looking, lobbing it towards the end zone. Just out of the reach of Brueggemann as he broke contact with the defensive back. Almost seemed, John, that if Plotz would have kept it on his own, he could have had a big pickup. With all the Burke defenders were back in the end zone, locked up with wide receivers.
There might have been a little room, but I think he figured that Stegman could win on the scramble drill, and he was right. He just didn't quite put it on the receiver.
Plotz quick pass, batted away. That is 6'6", Chris Hickman.
And that's tough now because you've put yourself in a 3rd and 10 situation inside the 20 once again. You've seen it 3 straight possessions now for Westside. It's come down to a big 3rd and long situation. They did it on their first drive. What can they do here?
Down 10, Coles out of the backfield, now lines up in the near slot. 5 wide receivers for Dylan Plotz to choose from. Snap back to him. 3rd down and 10, steps up into the pocket. Now throws it towards the end zone. It's picked off. Kimmich in the end zone. He looked back. Plotz didn't put enough air under it as he wanted Stegman.
This is not a great decision by Plotz. He's got so much space in front of him. Look at all that room. Just give it a go. Keep the ball. Try and outrun a defender. Instead, he puts too much air under that pass, and Kimnock right there to get the interception. And the big mistake from Dylan Plotz, and the responsibility to make up for it's going to fall on this defense.
A little more oomph over the defensive back. Kimmich made the interception. Down on the sidelines, suffering from some cramping issues.
Perhaps fortunately, Kimnock tried to take it out of the end zone, and it's Burke ball at the 1.
And they'll hand it off to James Burks, and he'll get 2. So now they put it back on the Westside defense to keep Burke deep and to keep an eye on James Burks. 29th carry, 188 yards tonight for the junior running back. 3 touchdowns. Chadwick will take the snap in the end zone. Changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Up 28-18, #1 team in the state. Hands it off to Burks. Burks churning his way for 5. And now it is 3rd down and 3.
Burks again with the carry. Nielsen on the stop.
Just grinding. This Burke offense is just pounding away at that interior. The body punches have started to pay off. You saw it on the last possession when Burks went 59 for the touchdown. Now a huge 3rd and 3.
Burks, 30 carries. Will 31 move the sticks? From here, yes.
Looks like he just did get out across the 10-yard line. It's going to be very close.
Because even if it's short, I can't imagine Burke, where they are on the field, would think about going for it. It appeared, I'm going to say, with the eyesight like it is these days, I'm going to say by half a nose. James Burks on his 31st carry got the 1st down. And, oh,
it's short.
It is short
by a chain link.
So
now that makes the decision real tough.
I think you have to punt.
I think you have to punt it, but do you not believe that your quarterback could lean forward for a ½ inch?
Well, but if you don't, you give Westside the football in the shadow of the goal line. Paul Lamanji will punt the football away. Still a lot of time to go in this game. 9:57 in the 4th quarter. Burke up 28-18.
Huge stand by that Westside defense.
Clayton Haney, the sophomore punter, will accept the snap in the end zone. Good snap, rugby-style punt to his right, and not a very good punt. It goes out of bounds. They are still marking inside of the 30. They are still walking, still walking, still walking, and finally stopping. And Westside has been given back a golden opportunity on the short punt from Clayton Haney. All Game Time high school football games streamed live each week at YurView.com. Also, check back throughout the week for game highlights and additional coverage, including the new weekly high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, with host Jeremy Crabtree. You can find it all at YurView.com. Keep you up to date on everything that is going on. And tonight, the national game of the week, Showdown Week on Game Time. Also, you can follow us, not only at YurView.com, but also YurViewOM on Twitter. Trick play for Westside. Pass back is caught! Touchdown! Curran to Packett.
Curran, the backup quarterback, lines up in the slot. Jaden Coles gets the handoff, pitches to him, and then how did he complete this pass? Dylan Packett outduels the defensive back and takes it in for the touchdown. Unreal.
They did call him out of bounds at the 8. Coles fumbled, and Plotz flops on it and back at the 13-yard line. The trick play, Curran the southpaw to Packett. So they call him out as he sidestepped the boundary. We apologize to the Packett family. They got all excited. They were calling the grandparents. Well, now Westside's got to go back to work here after that fumble. It is 2nd down and goal from the 13-yard line. They must have points. Plotz pass deflected away again.
How many times have we seen Hickman do that tonight? Just get his hands up and affect the throw from Dylan Plotz. Plotz is just 6'2". I say just 6'2" because Chris Hickman is 6'6".
Hickman, Henrich, both 3-star recruits according to Rivals.com. Plenty of Power 5 offers Play action. Plotz throws to the end zone, and he overthrew a wide open wide receiver at the 2. He had Gurnett. There is a flag down, and it'll be on Westside. Little man downfield. And again, Westside is in danger of a drive that looked really, really good. Stalling.
Dylan Plotz gets planted at the end of this play. And it was, guess who? Chris Hickman. He gets absolutely drilled into the turf. And you will forgive him for getting up a little slowly.
Now, field goal brings you back within a touchdown. Jack Bush earlier in the game hit a 35-yard field goal. This one would be from 28. There is no wind to speak of on this Thursday night at Phelps Field on the campus of Westside High School. Field goal is up, and it is good. Touchdown off the board, but field goal is up, and Westside is within a score. 8:42 to go. Burke 28, Westside 21. It's game time on YurView in the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
On demand from Cox Advanced TV, there's more.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Westside student section. Yeah, they're checking out YurView OM on Twitter, seeing all the highlights from tonight's game. They're interacting with John and myself. The Westside cheerleaders now throwing their support behind the defense as the field goal by Bush, his second of the night, draws the Warriors within a touchdown. After Packett, on a miraculous catch, stepped out at the 8-yard line on what looked like it could have been a touchdown.
Kick return has been an adventure for both teams here tonight, so watch out. Anything could happen right now.
Peter Navoa is the kickoff specialist for Westside. We've seen both teams fumble. A Westside fumble in the first half led to a Burke touchdown. It was 21-10 in favor of the Bulldogs at the break. Navoa, another little short pooch kickoff, and this time it is corralled by Vinson, and Vinson takes it back for a score. You just said the kickoff had been an adventure. That one is a ride that Burke will enjoy for a long time. Vinson takes the kickoff and puts it in the end zone.
Well, if you're going to do this, I mean, the team covering the kick should know where it's going, right? And they should all be flying to that area. Nobody got there for Westside, and Vinson basically untouched down the sideline for the score. That is a huge, huge game-changing play.
Vinson, the senior, 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And just like that, Burke is up by 2 scores as Gutierrez with the PAT. Oh my.
I guess from a Westside perspective, the good news is that it only took 10 seconds off the clock. If you're going to give up a score, do it in as little time as possible so you get that offense back on the field with some time to operate.
Yeah, we've seen both teams have elected to avoid Jaden Coles of Westside and James Burks of Burke High. And That's what has led to some wild scenarios in the kickoffs tonight. Next week, we are in Elkhorn for the Battle of Elkhorn. #1 team in Class B, Elkhorn South, against #7 Elkhorn. We'll be on the air, 7 o'clock Central, right here on YurView. You can also check us out in the Omaha area on Cox Channel 13 or in high definition at 10:13. The Storm and the Antlers. Always a great atmosphere. Our first time to see Elkhorn South, who...
Boy, they look like a buzzsaw, don't they?
They have not had a hiccup through the first 6 weeks of the season. So now it is Burke who will get to kick off. Jaden Coles is deep, but Burke has completely avoided Coles. Matthew Wright, who is kicking off, has been told to stay away from number 13. So a lot of these kickoffs have come down at about the 25, 30-yard line. I would imagine that they will continue with that plan. Up 2 scores, 8:32 to go. Burke, #1 in the state, trying to go to 6-0. Another short kickoff. And Parsonage fumbled it out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And Westside going to need a little quick strike offense. They have had plenty of opportunities here in the second half.
They certainly have, and the best of those was probably their last possession, where they started right around the 30-yard line and just unable to get it done. Couldn't protect Plotz well enough to give him time to find the open man. Thought they had the touchdown on the trick play, but Packin had stepped out at the 10 and then couldn't punch it in.
Beautiful facilities here at Westside High, including Phelps Field. Soccer, football, track. This facility is used for. Snap back to Plotz with an empty backfield. Steps into the pocket. Hickman almost swatted the ball out of his hand, and Plotz throws it incomplete. Chris Hickman right now is causing havoc with every single snap.
The tackles for Westside are a freshman in Cade Haberman and a sophomore in Jackson McMillan. When you're going up against a player of the caliber of Chris Hickman, that's a tall order for either one of those guys. And I don't say tall because he's 6'6", but because he can play football.
The Vincent 69-yard kickoff return for a score has put the Bulldogs up 2 touchdowns out of the backfield. Coles has lots of space to maneuver. Slip through defender and has a first down. He reaches around back of his right leg. He'll stay in the game, but he's got a little giddy up to his hitch.
Great move to set it up and then cut back to the inside, and might have just stretched that hamstring. That's the region he was grabbing.
That's a first down at the 41. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Coles in the backfield and Plotz on the play action. Rolls left, throws deep down the field, and it is incomplete.
Jaden Coles still grabbing that hamstring, trying to stretch it out, but it doesn't look good.
Plotz on the run. Henrich and Vincent gave him a little love tap.
And you know what? Pretty lucky that Dylan Plotz's helmet didn't come off right there, because he would have to leave the field. He was able to hold it on.
Plotz on a slant pattern, caught by Brueggemann. Short yardage just for 3, and now it'll be 3rd down and long. That is a route that Westside lived on in the first half. That may be only the second or third time we have seen the connection here in the second half of that route.
And inexplicably, Plotz has been throwing it behind the receiver, perhaps just trying to get it out of his hand a little too quickly. This rush may be affecting the way he's seeing the field.
Gonna have to get into Burke territory here to keep this alive. Plotz throws down the field, and it's over his wide receiver. Sailed it a little high for Schweigert. So it's 4th down and 7 at the 44. 7:24 to go, down 2 scores. And Westside will punt the football. They have 2 timeouts remaining. As Cade Yoakum will trot back for the punt, and Brett Freund right now will put it on his defense to make a stop. Get the ball back, down 35-21.
You better put it on his special teams right now.
Yoakum with another good punt. He's a 35-yard average punt. And Burks makes the fair catch at the 17-yard line. 7:18 to go. Don't miss any of the action. You can go to YurView.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. Go do it now, or when the game is over. We all do it. YurView.com/football shows up early in the week, and then you'll know what's going on, like our friends in Washington, D.C. that are watching tonight. They knew that this was a big game, and they know that it's showdown week on Game Time. So YurView.com/football. James Burks, he's going to sit in the ice tub after tonight's game. Now over 30 carries. This one for 3 as the clock now ticks under 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, not going to be in a big hurry. This Burke offense, they're going to most likely keep grinding it out. And in these situations, sometimes this is where you pop the big one.
Chadwick looks to his left. He's got a couple of speed burners there. On 2nd down and 7 from the 20, elects to hand it off to Burks. And Burks takes off with a stiff arm. And he's thrown down by Guzman.
Almost did it. Great lead block coming around. The big heavies. There you see the pulling guard. Dylan Sales comes around, blows out the defensive end. Burks cuts underneath him and almost broke that one for another touchdown.
You read about James Burks on YurView.com this week. Got a feeling when Megan Scolio talks to our player of the game, you're going to get to hear from James Burks. So new set of downs for Burke, and the clock continues to tick. Play action, Chadwick pump fake, looking deep down the right sideline for his man, and it is incomplete. And there is a flag thrown. Diving for it was Watts. The flag comes out after the ball hits the ground.
Gary, I don't know about this one.
Well,
I want to see the replay.
Pat.
I'm not sure about this one. That is a pretty harsh penalty flag from my perspective.
It is pass interference on Westside.
I mean, I'm not down there as close as the official was to see it, but from that angle, it looks pretty harsh.
You will find somebody in agreement with you. And Joseph Stegman. 6:06 to go, and that's another first down. Burke now will snap it inside of Warrior territory at the 38-yard line. Westside got it to 21-18, but now they're down 2 scores and they need a turnover. Burks into the pile. Alvarez had locked on to the junior running back Curran. Also Guzman. Next week, Burke takes on Omaha North, the number 3 team in Class A, in a non-district matchup. Westside takes on Lincoln North Star. In a couple of weeks, Burke and Bellevue West here on Game Time. That could be a matchup of 2 unbeaten teams on the final night of the regular season and the 2 top teams in Class A. Burke, number 1, trying to go to 6-0. Up 2 scores, and Chadwick taking his time as the play clock winds to 2. Hands it off to Burks, cutting to his right. Stopping, thrown down. Good open field tackle by Guzman.
Yeah, great job by Guzman. Great job by Guzman because Sales was pulling, and he had that big offensive guard right in his face, and he's able to just outduel him. A little shifty move to get around the guard and make the tackle in the backfield. Good play.
So 3rd down and 10. You would think that Burke up 2 scores. They're not thinking about punting the football. Now we're in a situation where the clock is under 5 minutes. Westside has 2 timeouts, so they need to stop here on 3rd down and 10. Chadwick again takes his time. Hands it off to Burks, and Burks is met in the hole. He'll be stopped short of the first down. And Alex Nielsen makes another big tackle from his middle linebacker spot. All 220 pounds. Right there in the middle of your screen, he came up and met Burks.
He's a good one.
On the wrestling mat, they would call that a stalemate. And Burke will elect to punt. Westside will get the football back with under 4 minutes to go, down by 2 touchdowns.
He's going to try to pin them deep and make them go the length of the field and then leave themselves enough time to put together another drive. It's probably the smart thing to do when you got a 2-score lead. You're just going to try to punch this thing out of bounds around the 10, somewhere between the 10 and 5 yard line, and say, okay, Westside offense, prove it.
Burke takes the delay of game, push him back 5 yards. Stay tuned at the end of tonight's game. Megan Scolio, field level. We'll talk to the winning coach and our player of the game. We'll have stats, we'll have highlights, and we'll get you ready for the Battle of Elkhorn next week here on Game Time, Elkhorn South and Elkhorn. We are still 3:52 from all of that happening. 35-21 Burke. Clayton Haney punts it, and there is a flag down. The ball will roll into the end zone, and we will check the flag, which has been a common occurrence here in the second half. There's Skip Kennedy.
He's been busy.
And Skip makes his yearly appearance on Game Time. He's got people watching all over town, people that he works with, people that he plays golf with on the weekends, saying, you know, I'll be on Game Time tonight. They're like, we'll watch you, Skip, but why is your back always to the TV cameras? Well, now Skip says, we'll just wave this off. And Westside needs points in a hurry with 3:46 to go. Now with this offense, they can score in a hurry with Dylan Plotz, who is a top 5 senior quarterback in the state of Nebraska this year. When he is directing the offense, skilled position guys that are so familiar with each other. Westside was the state runner-up in the 7-on-7 tournament back in the summer.
And they're probably going to play it like it's 7-on-7 from here on in. 3:46 to go. You need 2 touchdowns. Dylan Plotz better have that right arm warmed up.
Westside 4-1. Third time we've seen him this year. Plotz, quick pass to Stegman in the near flat. Let him run. He does, to the 30, to the 35, pushed out of bounds to the 37. That's a first down, stops the clock with 3:40 to go. Stegman's had a really, really good night catching the football. He's only a junior. These two teams are going to be around next year for sure.
Yeah, Stegman only had 7 catches coming into tonight. He's had a good one.
Stegman tries the other side this time. Got a block, but that's a penalty. This will come back.
And they're going to get Schweigert for a hold on the outside. You see him protesting out there. But if we get a look at the replay, you're going to see he absolutely bulldogs the Burke defender to the ground. Take a look. Right there, you see it. Right at the point of attack. He gets the defender around the neck and takes him to the ground.
It was 21-10 Burke at the break. It was 2018 coming into this quarter. Caleb Schweigert, leading receiver for Westside, will be asked to make a big catch or 2 here in the last 3:35. Snap back to Plotz. Steps up into the pocket. Now throws it towards Schweigert, and he makes a good catch, lunging to haul it in. That is a pickup of 11, short of the first down. Schweigert, who made an unofficial visit last week to South Dakota, to Sioux Falls University, Division II program. 2nd and 5. Plotz drops straight back, steps up into the pocket, heaves it deep down the field, and it is broken up at the last moment. Darnell Davis is able to keep it away from Dylan Peck.
Plotz with good time back there. Puts this one where it needs to be. Just a good play by Davis to come over and break it up.
Burke high, Last time they were in the state final, lost in 2011, lost in 1980, lost in 1984. Here's Schweigert, and he's caught from behind by Henrich.
Good enough for the first down, though. A little slip screen to the wide receiver. Just comes underneath, gets caught from behind, but it keeps the chains moving.
Right at midfield. Westside needs points. And Coles couldn't hold on to the pass.
Man, this is something we've seen a little bit from these Westside backs and receivers tonight. They just getting their head turned a little bit too quick, worried about where that defender is going to be before they've secured the catch. And it hasn't been just one guy. It's kind of plagued the entire group out there.
3:11 to go. Second down and 10 from midfield on the big W logo. Westside High, the alma mater of the governor of Nebraska, Pete Ricketts, and actor Nick Nolte. Plotz with a first down carry. Just took it on his own. I don't know if that was called, but the keeper gets him 10.
Yeah, it looked like QB draw from the outset because he didn't hesitate, just took that thing and went.
Now trying to catch Burke off guard, just plowing ahead. This is a first down this time. Clock stops. I think Westside here would take a crack at the end zone from the 38-yard line. Passing complete. Wanted Cal Weideman, who we have not called his name as much tonight as we have in the previous two times that we've seen the Warriors here on Game Time.
Isn't that surprising? He was number 3 in receptions behind Schweigert and Coles coming into this game. And Weideman just hasn't really been a factor up to this point.
Burke takes a timeout with 2:41 to go, 35-21 in favor of the Bulldogs. Are you interested in an exciting career in media studies? Well, check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Proud to have the good folks at Iowa Western, part of Game Time on YurView once again. We will be in Class B next week. We also not know what to do when we're not at a high school game on Friday night.
Yeah, what are we going to do tomorrow, Gary?
I advise all of our crew to reintroduce themselves to their family. I got Nebraska, Illinois tomorrow night. Plotz empty backfield, steps up. Pump fakes, now on the run, looking downfield, fires it back across toward the end zone, and there's a flag, a collision. Stegman was in the middle of it, and that's going to be a penalty on Burke at the goal line.
Well, this is a pretty brave throw. He trusts Dylan Schweigert quite a bit, does Plotz. Caleb Schweigert, rather, Dylan Plotz, and just heaves this one toward the end zone. It's going to end up drawing a pass interference penalty and a first down. No.
Nope.
Offsetting penalties. Okay. All right.
The man downfield and the pass interference.
If our referee was mic'd, I'm sure we would have heard before that one. We have offsetting penalties on the play.
And what people don't understand is that I have perfected lip reading. So if Skip was facing us, then we would have known. So that was kind of fun. And let's just do it again. Second down and 10. Little shuffle pass. Parsonage. He caught it. And now cutting to the outside. He's knocked down at the 26. He kind of bounced off his shoulder pad. He was able to snag it and then take off. That could have been the end of the night for the Warriors.
That was an adventurous play for Parsonage, wasn't it? First almost loses it, recollects it, makes a cut, and then gets drilled at the end of it.
Are you not entertained tonight on Game Time? Plotz into the pocket. Heaves it towards the end zone. Touchdown! Schweigert in the back of the end zone makes the catch.
Holy moly! The defensive back gave up on the play because he thought there was no way Schweigert can come up with this catch. And Schweigert flies through the air, unreal. Plot's great job of stepping up to avoid the pressure. And Schweigert, behind Eloy, makes the unbelievable catch.
Important PAT from the right foot of Jack Bush. And a whistle before Bush gets to show off his kicking skills. Now all of Skip's friends that are watching the game time, is there's a penalty on Burke. Say, come on, Skip. Legal substitution on Burke. Inches Bush closer to the uprights. 2:12 to go. Westside has 2 timeouts remaining. This to put them within a touchdown of tying the #1 team in the state. And Bush's PAT just barely gets over the crossbar. And it is now 35-28. Don't go anywhere. As we get a look at the touchdown pass from Dylan Plotz to his favorite wide receiver in the back of the end zone, Caleb Schweigert.
Just can't say enough about the effort on that by Dylan Plotz to step up and evade the rush and give his receiver a chance. Schweigert with a monster catch that gives the Warriors a chance.
Well, all night long you have kicked it short, high in the air. Do you take a chance with 2 timeouts in your back pocket, down by a touchdown? Is this where you go onside?
I think you have to. You absolutely must get the ball back right here. You can't allow that Burke offense to get the ball back and just grind out this clock. You have to go onside.
Schweigert, who will leave Westside with all kinds of receiving records. Plotz set records last year throwing the football. Burke has 10 guys up. They're on to this as Westside in the bunch formation. The onside be coming here. 2:12 to go. Yep. Westside within a touchdown. They have 2 timeouts. Here's Navoa with the onside kick attempt. And it is right into a Burke Bulldog at midfield. Maynor collected it and fell on top of it, and then his teammates came over to protect him. So 2:10 to go. Ball is at midfield. I think we will get a heavy dose of James Burks, the running back, who tonight over 30 carries, over 200 yards, 3 scores right there. Here's the handoff. And he bounces off a couple of defenders. And then he is thrown down by Nolan Miller Johnson. I think in wrestling circles where Burks is so good, you'd probably give 2 to Miller Johnston.
For the takedown.
Takedown. Timeout taken by Westside. It was a pickup of 4. Minute 59 now to go. So we have 1 more timeout remaining. Red Freund in the middle with the headset on, the head coach of Westside. Is a program that very active off the field and in the Westside community, whether it be teaching play safe on how to properly tackle or the involvement. Brett's brother Bruce is part of the All Play Foundation that helps athletes with disabilities, and the Westside Warrior football program on their off days heavily involved in that. 2nd down and 6. 35-28 Burke, #1 in the state, currently 5-0. Westside 4-1. Their lone loss was on this field on opening night to Omaha Creighton Prep, a game they lost 45-41 when Prep scored with a 10th under 13 seconds remaining. Chadwick trying to draw Westside off sides, looks to the sidelines, changes the play. Play clock is at 12. Game clock not started yet at 1:59. Handoff to Burks. This is a pickup of 2 and a quick timeout from the Westside sideline. They are done with timeouts, and when the timeout is over, John Schreiner, it'll be 3rd down and 4 with 1:54 to go.
Well, we've said there have been some big 3rd downs in this game. None bigger than this one. For Burke, you know what they're going to do. Number 14 is going to get the ball, and he's going to run between the tackles. For Westside, it is all hands on deck. You're bringing everything you got. One more play to try and give the offense a chance to go down the field and tie the game. If they can get the stop, the clock will run. It'll be about 5-6 seconds off. Then another 22 seconds or so. So you're going to get about 27 seconds off the clock. You're going to have, if Westside can get the stop, they can get the ball back with about 1:20-ish left to go down the field.
Do they run James Burks behind Andrew Reiner, the big right tackle, who took an unofficial visit to Wyoming last weekend? 3rd down and 4. Flag on the play. False start on Burke. That has plagued them a lot here in the second half. It will cost them 5 yards, and now it's 3rd down and 9 with 1:52 to go. 2 seconds came off the clock. Paul Lamanji, that is a part of the game film that he is not going to sleep well tonight when he digests it.
And that is such a huge penalty because it takes you out of a situation where you feel good about getting that 1st down, running the ball. Now you're at 3rd and 9. Do you even think of attempting a pass to ice this game, or do you just keep it on the ground and let the clock run?
They put the 2 seconds back on the clock. Now it's 3rd down and 9 at the 49. 1st down sits at the 40, and a timeout taken by Burke.
Mass confusion on that Burke offense right now. Just nobody knows what's going on. Trying to figure it out. One more play to put this game in the books.
Next week, Elkhorn South, #1 in Class B. Long winning streak. It continues tonight. They won 45-7 at Seward. Elkhorn South, Elkhorn next Friday night. Game time on YurView. Stay tuned when we are done. The victorious head coach, our player of the game. We'll chat with Megan Scolio. We'll have stats, we'll have highlights, we'll have analysis, and maybe a sigh of what is to come with 1:54 to go. Burke trying to hold on. They've got a matchup with Omaha North next week. Bellevue West in a couple of weeks. Stiffest test of the season. Paul Lamanji is going to learn a lot about his football team on a Thursday night at Westside High School. He would like to learn about his team when they're 6-0. Westside with a 3-man front, now a 4-man front. Chadwick, 2 wide receivers to the top. Snap back to him, hands off to James Burks. Burks runs through the hole, and can he get the 1st down? He does! On 2nd contact. He gets the 1st down on 3rd down and 9, and Burke is going to stay unbeaten. Oh my
Goodness, what an effort. Manages to put his hand down and keep himself up to pick up enough for the 1st down. That is just tremendous running from the junior.
So many times tonight we were about to tell you who stopped James Burks, and then we did tell you who stopped him, but it was the 3rd or 4th opportunity downfield, and Burke is going to survive.
The only thing left is to hold on to the ball.
And Burks breaks away from a tackle. Not this time. How is he not out of gas? If you were thinking we were going to have a fan vote tonight on our player of the game,
we're not.
We're going to suspend that, and we're just going to give it to this guy right here.
That was James Burks' 39th carry of the evening. 245 rushing yards.
And 3 touchdowns. But the biggest carry of the night was on 3rd down and 9 to garner a first down and essentially put this game away.
The effort, I mean, the want to, the just desire to win for James Burks.
Is that a smile, John Schreiner, on the face of Paul Lamanji?
But goodness, could it be any bigger, that will to succeed for James Burks? It's been on full display here tonight.
Minute 5 to go. Brett Freund has learned a lot about his team tonight. People wondered if the schedule of late would hamper them. Nope. This will be a district that will put these 2 teams in Bellevue West in the postseason. They will represent quite well. In victory formation for Burke now. They're going to go to 6-0 and they'll remain #1. Stiffest challenge of the year. They come on the road and they hold off Westside. We will have one more snap and Burke will be officially in the playoffs. And that is it. What a game tonight between 2 top 10 teams in the largest class of the state of Nebraska. Burke challenged like they haven't been challenged all year, but they make the play at the end. Paul Lamanji, James Burks will join us next. 35-28, Burke over Westside. Game time on YurView.
Reliability. Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
You're watching this week's Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. Burke holds off Westside to remain unbeaten and #1. A happy Paul Lamanji and our player of the game, James Burks, down on the field with Megan Scolio. Megan?
All right, Coach, you guys improved to 6-0 tonight. Your team fought hard till the end. What did you think of their overall performance?
Oh, I thought it was a great effort. You know, Westside's a good team. They came out and played hard, but, you know, luckily we played 48 minutes and we played it very, very hard. And it was a full team effort. So I'm very proud of the guys.
And you guys had a 3rd and 9. They were within a touchdown, and then James here went ahead and got that first down. What do you think of him tonight?
Yeah, James is unbelievable. When he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And there's nobody else who I want the ball in a situation like that when the game's on the line. He's going to go through wall after wall to get that first down, and he did it.
All right, thanks, Coach. James, let's get you in here now. Tonight, let's talk about that play. It was 3rd and 9, and you got that big first down, sealed the deal for you guys.
We really needed it, so the line stepped up and gave me an opportunity to work in the secondary, so lower my shoulder and just hit as hard as I could.
And you guys kind of struggled a little bit in the 3rd quarter, but then you started off the 4th with that big 58-yard touchdown run. What changed there?
We just needed a momentum shift, so the team stepped up and gave me another opportunity to do what I could.
And overall tonight, you had 39 carries, 245 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. What was working for you?
Just lowering my shoulder, hitting hard. That's what I love to do.
All right, thanks. Congrats.
Thank you.
He likes to win on the wrestling mat and on the football field. Big night for him, 35-28. Burke over Westside. Stats and highlights coming up next. This is Game Time on YurView. The Iowa Western Game of the Week. The #1 team in Class A will remain that way after the touchdown victory.
Your home telephone is still your most reliable.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
Class A did not disappoint tonight. #1 Omaha Burke. They improved to 6-0 with a 35-28 victory over Omaha Westside as the Warriors fall to 4-2. Welcome back to Phelps Field. There's John Schreiner. I'm Gary Sharp. Let's let the pictures tell you the story of how Burke was able to hold off Westside tonight.
Well, this was a knockdown drag out from the beginning, and Jaden Coles early on, he was having some success in that 3rd quarter, and then a big touchdown run to start that 3rd quarter really kind of gave some belief back to Westside. But first possession, 4th quarter, James Burks doing what he does. 58 yards to pay dirt. Breaks a few tackles along the way. Boy, he did that all night long. Just broke tackle after tackle after tackle. And we're going to get a look at some tackles he broke later in this one that were pivotal. Dylan Plotz, maybe not his best half of football in the 2nd half. Threw that costly interception. Right here, Westside thought they had the touchdown on the trick play. Packett goes in, but he stepped out right around the 10-yard line. Westside would have to kick the field goal, and then they would do the little pooch kick again. Javon Vincent says, that's okay. You keep it away from James Burks. I'll do it myself. 69-yard kickoff return. Put it back to a 2-score game. But Dylan Plotz lead his Warriors back down the field late in the 4th. Caleb Schweigert with the big catch. Made it a touchdown game. Then on 3rd and 9, James Burks runs through a defender, puts his hand down, picks up 11. Pick up the first down that sealed the deal for the Bulldogs.
35-28, Burke over Westside.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus, but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Woodhouse Mazda brings you great lease offers with their Driver's Choice event. Discover the drivability of the new 2017 Mazda CX-3 Touring and lease for only $249 a month. Or the all-new redesigned 2017 Mazda CX-5 Sport for $269 a month. Shop Omaha's exclusive Mazda dealer today. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse Mazda.
The number one team in Class A holds off Omaha Westside to improve to 6-0. Westside now 4-2. Burke also clinches a spot in the playoffs. 16 of the 28 in the state's largest class will play in the postseason. Let's take a look at some of the numbers compiled tonight by Joe Ziske, our statistician. One on the ground, the other through the air. I believe some poet once wrote something about that.
One if by land, two if by sea.
These two teams came in, the two top offenses in Class A, combined over 1,000 yards per game. The Burke offense pretty dynamic tonight. Westside got Jaden Coles going late, but that time of possession, 30 of the 48 minutes for Burke, who used a lot of James Burks tonight.
Well, James Burks had 39 for 245, and the Burke offense managed 238 on the ground. That tells you what the rest of the team did rushing. -7 if you're not named James Burks tonight.
Burke, number one. You can see why tonight. Westside, much improved. They should remain in the top 10. We'll see Burke in a couple of weeks. We will see you next week in Elkhorn for the Battle of Elkhorn between Elkhorn South and Elkhorn High. Big thanks to all of you that tuned in locally and nationally. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, the final score tonight, Omaha Burke 35, Omaha Westside 28. For Megan Scolio, for John Schreiner, for the rest of our crew, I'm Gary Sharp. This has been Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. Good night, everybody.
Has the fret issue of exfoliation. This will be the game changer. This is, again, what sold me on exfoliation with Tatcha, because I was like, come on, guys, it's a powder. I have clogged pores. Really? And then for the same moment that you have soft as a baby's bum skin, where you're like, I haven't felt this since I was 2 and I was a little too judgy to take it, you know, take it seriously. This, I feel like, cleans out the gunk that lives on your skin day in and day out, and yet all you need is just a little bit of powder and a little bit of water to activate it.
That's so true. So with this powder, there's 4 different variations that we make available. So I'm going to kind of go through all of them to see which one you might fit into. But